This is a Fox News alert. More verbal volleys. I'm Jack Callahan, Fox News. President Trump speaking with reporters just a few moments ago at his golf resort in New Jersey, standing by his earlier stern words that if North Korea takes any military action against U.S. or our allies...
I hope that they are going to fully understand the gravity of what I said. And what I said is what I mean.
The president had tweeted this morning that military options are locked and loaded. The president saying if North Korean leader Kim Jong-un does anything with respect to Guam or any U.S. ally, he, quote, will regret it. North Korea responding to the president's earlier tweet, Pyongyang through a Korean news agency, calling the U.S. a shameless gangster state and warning preventative war is not an option that's limited just to the United States. But behind the rhetoric, reported clandestine diplomatic efforts.
Even though you have the president and the North Koreans going back and forth with this rhetoric over the last few days, there is a back-channel discussion between a senior U.S. diplomat and a North Korean counterpart. This is according to the Associated Press, that also reports that those two are discussing the 3 Americans who are still imprisoned in North Korea, along with some other issues. The State Department refuses to comment on this report.
Fox's Rich Edson at the Pentagon. Russia's Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov estimating the risk of a military conflict between the U.S. and North Korea as very high and says that Moscow is deeply concerned. Southern New Hampshire, parts of the Exeter Hospital evacuated midday by an odor. 17 staff members treated after feeling dizzy and nauseous.
No indication that this was life-threatening in any way. Many of them have gone home already, and some have been transferred to other hospitals only because we have shut down our emergency services at this time.
Dr. Neil Meehan says hazmat crews are investigating. None of the patients at the hospital was affected. Fox News, fair and balanced.
For every gun owner, pulling the trigger in lawful self-defense is the absolute last resort. None of us want to do it, but what if you have to? Have you considered the serious financial and legal consequences that could come from just doing what you had to do to save your life or the life of a loved one? I'm Dana Lash with the NRA. I carry my firearm every day. But the truth is, right behind your firearm, your second most important self-defense protection is a rock-solid carry policy. That's why I believe in NRA Carry Guard. It's the most comprehensive coverage and training for those who carry, developed by the only brand gun owners can trust to have their backs, no matter what. NRA Carry Guard members can choose up to $1 million in insurance-backed protection, plus 24/7 access to a first response crisis management team, an online video library, and much more. Learn more and sign up today at NRAcarry.com or call 1-866-NRA-1234 to become an NRA Carry Guard member right now.
Former disc jockey David Mueller has rested his case against pop star Taylor Swift in a Denver courtroom, suing for defamation over Swift's claim that he groped her before a concert 4 years ago. Swift's security guard on the stand today.
Greg Dent testified he saw the DJ she accuses of groping her reach under the singer's skirt during a 2013 pre-concert meet and greet photo session. The singer testified yesterday saying David Mueller, quote, stayed attached to my bare cheek as I lurched away from him. Swift called it a despicable and horrifying and shocking encounter. Mueller claims he touched her rib. He was fired after Swift told his supervisor.
Fox's Michelle Polino. Taylor Swift is countersuing, charging sexual assault. Still hoping for health care reform. The Conservative Freedom Caucus is planning an end run to try and get a vote on to repeal Obamacare by using a congressional discharge petition to bypass congressional leadership. Freedom Caucus member Jim Jordan of Ohio telling Fox News.
I just spent the last 10 days crisscrossing the 4th District of Ohio, and people back there said, act like you did when you ran for the job. Right. Make sure you guys do what you told us you were going to do and keep your promise. This is a way to do that.
Dallas Cowboys running back Ezekiel Elliott will appeal a 6-game suspension for domestic violence handed down by the NFL today. The league says following a year-long investigation, it finds persuasive evidence that Elliott had a physical confrontation with his girlfriend last summer in Columbus, Ohio. Elliott's representative calls the NFL's findings inaccurate, full of erroneous conclusions. Police in Columbus had decided against pressing charges. Witnesses and police are reporting gunshots and screams in at least 2 areas of Kenya where residents support opposition presidential candidate Raila Odinga. The unrest breaking out after Kenya's election commission announcing that President Uhuru Kenyatta had won a second term, defeating Odinga. Dow Jones Industrial Average rebounding up 14. I'm Jack Callahan, Fox News Radio.
Here is your ESPN Radio 3-day forecast from the National Weather Service, brought to you by Chief Bauer. Trust the heating and cooling experts at Chief Bauer Service Experts to help keep you comfortable all year long. That's 866-EXPERTS, or visit online at chiefbauer.com. 59 the low tonight, 79 and sunny tomorrow. Absolutely gorgeous weekend with a low of 55 Saturday, high of 80 Sunday with a low of 58, and no rain in the forecast right now. Live at Game Day Spirit on the corner of Neal and Kirby, it is 84 and sunny. ESPN Radio.
And it is the Tay and J Show, ESPN Radio 93.5. Lon Tay, Jeremy Warner, Mike Carpenter. You heard him doing the weather. And as he mentioned, we are live at Game Day Spirit, 1602 South Neal and Kirby. It's their brand new location, and you can't pick a better spot. Right across from McDonald's. Everybody knows this little trek around this area. We are here all day until 6 o'clock, so come out, join us. More importantly, come out and check out the new Game Day Spirit. Jeremy, a lot of specials that we'll get to today.
Yeah.
This is awesome. We're right out here in front of everybody. So if you're driving by, make sure to give us a wave here at Game Day Spirit.
Pretty cool to be here the week before we're done with our
Absolutely.
show together.
Absolutely.
One of the cool things that we started off with the show was going out on remote, and how terrifying that was early on in the process, just keeping a show on the air. And we've had issues with that as we've gone along here, but Game Day Spirit's always been such a great sponsor of the Tay and J Show and ESPN Radio 93.5, and they just gave me something pretty cool.
That is
so cool. And you and Carp as well.
I know.
They gave you and Carp a Tay and Carp Show shirt. That starts Monday,
that is
August 21st from 4 to 6 on ESPN Radio. And they gave me a shirt with my face on it.
That is so cool.
I had a little bit more hair than
I was going to say that. They took an old picture.
But it's like
there.
me with a microphone and the Jeremy Werner show. I really appreciate that. That's really cool.
That is so sweet and very nice of them to do that. What a surprise as we get out here, Carp. You know, the one thing that kind of struck me, I mean, the finality of the Tay and J Show obviously is something that is on all of our minds as we have a week left. You know, officially next week at this time, I'll be a rambling mess as Jeremy and I say goodbye to each other. And Carp, you're of course here with us today because you're going to be on vacation next week.
Yeah.
So it's your last chance to work with Jeremy and I on the show together. Now, we'll be on it, I'm sure, other times where Jeremy will pop down. But walking up to Game Day Spirit today, I did have this kind of surreal moment of, man, there's a finality of this coming up, and we've got a week left.
I was thinking that when I did the 5 at 5, which we will do the final edition of that later on in the 5 o'clock hour. But
that's weird to say.
It's really weird to say. And I think that's when it does start hitting home, is when those things that are just regular. And I know the 5 at 5 has been somewhat irregular in the last year or two, but it's going to be weird when those sort of things that just became part of the routine. I had a few people that I was talking to mention that was sort of their kickoff into the weekend.
That's cool.
Was the 5 at 5, and I actually went back today and looked at the first ever 5 at 5.
Did you really?
From August 31st, 2012.
Wow.
Well, actually, that probably would be the first one, but it's the oldest one I could find on my computer.
And wasn't the muse of this Gene?
It was. Yeah, because when we first started this show, I asked her, I'm like, do you have any ideas what we can do to fill 3 hours? She's like, you ought to just take random topics out of a hat. Yeah. Well, then we morphed it into Carp being our great commissioner, and you decided every week to do 5 of them, and it's been so much fun.
The first 5 topics, and this is August 31st, 2012.
Okay.
Let's see if I can remember these.
It was much drier back then.
See what we answered?
We had start of sports season.
Okay.
So what's your favorite start of a sports season? We had action movie star.
Oh.
I feel like we've done variations of that a couple times.
I
a lot of Mark
chose
Wahlberg.
Matt Damon or Mark Wahlberg, exactly.
We had worst job, the worst job you ever had.
I remember that.
Favorite
That's right. That's right.
Oh, that had to be terrible.
Oh.
I had friends that did that back in the day. Favorite campus spot.
Okay.
And the final question, this is before music was always sort of that thing, or music or movies. Inclement weather and sports. Not exactly.
Was that when the game was delayed by weather?
Well, oddly enough, I think I did that because this was before Illinois faced Bill Cubitt's Western Michigan in Tim Beckman's home opener.
That's right. Got it.
And there was like a hurricane that was making its way through, and it was one of those weird Saturdays where it rained torrential and cleared up just in time for that game. But, yeah, the early 5 at 5 is probably not quite as exciting as the most recent
That
one.
is fantastic.
Well, today's 5 at 5, Carp We learned as well. Carp should give us the questions beforehand.
Yes,
so we're not
finally
just saying,
decided our answers would be a lot better.
He gave us the questions today. This probably is the toughest 5 at 5 he's ever put together.
It's unreal. I sat there and looked at it for probably 15 minutes, and I finally was like, just do something different. You're not going to be able to answer these.
Yeah.
And finally, I just took the sheet out, and in a matter of 5 minutes, I just hammered down five answers.
They're very
so I could think all day on these things.
Yeah.
The twist of this 5 at 5, and I was talking with Austin and Harry and those guys yesterday about it during a few breaks of how should we wrap up the 5 at 5, and
perfect.
we kept going back to this idea of, okay, the history of the Tay and J Show, 5 questions surrounding the history of the Tay and J Show and your experiences with it. So I don't know if it will be funny.
Yes.
I think it will be nostalgic, certainly.
No doubt.
And probably a little bit
sad.
Yeah, I think it will be a little bit sad. And as we sign off tonight, and then I'm gone next week, there is a finality. That's the word that you used, and I think that's kind of what we're feeling.
There's no doubt that we're all feeling it.
We will talk sports today.
Yes, we will.
That's what we do sometimes here on ESPN Radio 93.5. We like to mix it up a little bit because there are other things going on in life that we like to talk about. But Robert Rosenthal, IlliniBoard.com, will join us at 4:05 today. He has nothing to do today. He came up, he took vacation days Thursday and Friday to watch Illinois football practice. Lovey canceled practice today. No word of why.
Okay.
But usually Lovey's pretty cautious about injuries, about resting players. I think this is more of that. I don't know.
Right.
But he's done this in the past where he's canceled practice. They resume tomorrow 9 to 11. So it doesn't seem like a huge deal that's going on here. But Robert has a free afternoon, so I texted him and said, hey, if you got nothing to do, come by and join us. So we'll talk some Illini football with Robert at about 4:05. We got some poll questions we have up at Tay and J Show on Twitter.
I voted on every one of them.
That will go down. I thought those would get some conversation going as well. We got the 5 at 5 showdown. We'll talk a little baseball. But Carp, I wanted to bring this up first. I was excited when the Bears drafted Mitch Trubisky, and last night is why. I was watching preseason football, Bears football,
good call,
like it was meaningful. And I didn't watch games last year barely because it wasn't meaningful. Mitch Trubisky makes me watch, and I know it's one half of football. I know he's playing against a third-string defense, but how can you not be encouraged over what he did last night? 18 of 24, made all the throws, and the more important thing, he just seemed to have a demeanor that this wasn't big for him. Like he has that kind of mentality that special quarterbacks need.
Yeah, and last night I started with the Mike Lennon pick six, which was the first official play with Mike Lennon under center, or at least the first pass.
That guy doesn't stand a chance.
No. And that's
poor
the thing.
guy. Like Chicago. I mean, everybody in Chicago. Like I don't mind the signing. Like I never minded the signing. People get caught up in the money. It's a 1-year deal. He's a placeholder. Right. I think we all know that. He has a little bit of upside, maybe, because we haven't seen him as a starter. But the way he looks matters. He's not great. Right?
Gangly.
He looks like a backup quarterback.
Yes.
That's exactly what he looks like.
Yes, and then you see this Trubisky kid come in and look like that.
Look the part. Look poised. And yes, it was the second and third string defense, but to do that in your first ever NFL appearance, and I know he hasn't been great at camp, or at least he has not always been the best quarterback in Bears camp, so that's why you aren't going to see that initial move to place him as starter, even though John Fox after the game, when he said, well, there's no movement on that, there's just something about the Bears, a state of malaise that I have as a fan, that when they drafted Trubisky, I did applaud the boldness of it, but I have this sort of fatalistic, well, it's not going to work.
Right.
It's just not going to work, so why would we go with Mitch Trubisky? Why not Deshaun Watson? And maybe Watson will be the better quarterback. Who knows? But after last night, it's not a sort of like Ryan Pace, haha, I showed you. But it is still promising, and my thought is this. If they're going to go 5-11 regardless, which they would do with Mike Lennon, they could also do it with Mitch Trubisky.
Sure.
The latter, I'm watching. The latter, like I said on Twitter last night, I'm going to Porgy's and I'm getting my half chicken and settling in for some bad football with Mitch Trubisky under center so I can see how he develops.
The Rams benched Jared Goff most of the year long because
they did.
He wasn't ready.
No, not at all.
Trubisky looks like he only started 13 college games, right? I mean, most people, the reason they didn't like the pick, one was the trade, which we've hashed over and over again. If you think he's special, go get him. Make sure.
Amen.
Even if you didn't have to do it, you make sure you get that guy. But the second part is that, Trubisky just has this quality that no one's seen him very much. So they draft him, and nobody knows him that well. We all seen Deshaun Watson in national championship games. That doesn't mean Deshaun Watson's a better prospect.
Not at all.
And Cleveland was trying to trade up for Trubisky. They passed Deshaun Watson a couple times. So I think it's not just the Bears who saw that quality in Trubisky. It's just we haven't seen it at a national stage that often. So I think Bears fans last night, you could see it on Twitter, how excited they were finally that, hey, it's probably a good thing that they took a quarterback with upside. Because I always think Bears fans, like you, Carb, are nervous that whoever quarterback we take, it's just not going to work. But you have to do it.
You do.
I mean, if you think there's a guy that's special with a special skill set and a special mentality, you have to go get him. You can't be afraid. And that's what I loved about Ryan Pace doing it. And the first test, it's a very small checkpoint line. But the first test looked great.
I agree. And even if it is second, third string defense, I think you can tell if someone has an awareness, if they're comfortable out there. And for a guy that's doing his first NFL game, to be able to be comfortable and to make the throws and do that despite who you're playing against, these are still great athletes that are second and third string NFL defensemen. I think that's cool. And the one thing that I'll echo your thought on Ryan Pace, whether it works or not, I think he understands where the Bears are, and you cannot win in the NFL if you do not have a good quarterback. It's that simple.
He saw what Drew Brees did for the New Orleans Saints.
That's exactly right. And we've seen, Trent Dilfer won a Super Bowl. That's the max example of that. You can get wins with a maybe so-so quarterback if you've got a great running game. The Bears don't have any of that. So, yes, Josh Howard was good last year. But, Carp, I think this is a brilliant move by Pace. If it works out, it's really brilliant. If it doesn't, I give the guy credit for going out and making the move.
It's bold because his job depends on it.
Yes.
Right? We could have taken the safety, Jamal Adams.
Yep.
And he could have, we could have just gone with that and done the safe thing, tried to build up a defense and a run game. Doesn't matter.
Nope.
Doesn't matter unless you have the quarterback.
That's exactly right.
That's what Trubisky is. He's taking a shot, and he's putting all his money on here. He could have taken Adams and tried to get Josh Rosen or Sam Darnold next year. No, he's going to get a guy that he's scouted and he thinks is special. And Pace so far, his draft picks besides Kevin White because of injuries, they look pretty good.
Leonard Floyd with the sack last night. I mean, he just exploded off of the edge.
Tariq Cohen, Adam Sheehan last night.
Yeah, I mean, it's a bold move because you were basically tying your future with that team on this one guy. At the same time, it's also a brilliant move for job security because this is a process, and he probably bought himself another year or two because now we got the franchise quarterback, or so we hope, and that is a process that you have to see through. You aren't going to just go back and start from square one with this new guy. What you may do, and the story throughout the season will be, okay, is John Fox kind of a lame duck coach?
Right.
Is he just there because 3 years ago the Bears management thought we need to get that veteran guy because he's available, and Ryan Pace didn't really want him? I think those storylines will be also interesting outside of the lines of play, but as the Bears go ahead, I'm not expecting many wins. The defense does have some things that intrigue me.
The front seven.
Yeah, the front seven.
But here's the thing. Trubisky still might not work. Right?
No,
This might not work, but I'm going to watch Carter.
Yes, you are.
But
there's an excitement level back.
I don't mind people talking about a quarterback controversy. I know it's a half of football. I wouldn't change Glennon from the starter right now. You signed him to give you a bridge.
No doubt.
If Trubisky does this the rest of the preseason and Glennon struggles to begin the season, then week 3, week 4, if Trubisky's the better player, put him in there. If he shows he's ready, unlike Jared Goff last year, you go with it. Carson Wentz showed during camp he was ready to play, and that gave him the best chance to win.
I've never been a quarterback at any level, including high school, but I would assume standing on the sideline the first 2 or 3 or 4 games of the season and understanding how that works at the NFL level. There's a different speed from college. You're in a different system now than you were in college.
He's never taken a snap from center.
Exactly. So I think for that, to be able to sit back and watch Glennon, even if you know Glennon's probably not going to lead you to many wins, for him to be able to understand that when he does get his chance, he's even more comfortable and ready to roll. You don't want to throw him out in the wolves and have it go bad in a hurry.
Yeah.
But that could happen, and we'll see. But I agree. I think Ryan Pace did the right thing. He made a bold move, and that, as you guys say, even me, not a Bears fan, I'm excited to watch.
It's a quarterback, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, Deshaun Watson's going to excite Texans fans.
Absolutely.
But one preseason game doesn't unseat Tom Savage, who they really, really like. So that'll be interesting to watch going forward. Baseball, we got to get Austin Berkman's nervousometer, or did you guys go rageometer?
Well, we got rageometer, but he was not full of rage yesterday. He was still in that stage.
That's because I'm not there.
Well, that may be part of it.
He wasn't staring at me, watching it with that little smirk on my face.
That may be part of it. We call it rageometer or rageometer, but we never really got to that because I think even yesterday it was still a feeling of, okay, I know this is a run the Cardinals are making. The Cubs should be fine. But we had Sahadev Sharma on.
Yeah.
And it just seemed like I asked Sahadev, what is there a primary difference in that clubhouse, the vibe around the team? I mean,
what's different?
It just feels different from afar, and I can only imagine up close.
Well, and the Cardinals have that devil magic they can bring out at any time.
Apparently.
And the cutest storyline in all of sports right now.
Here comes the kitty.
The rally cat has been found.
I can still remember Skip Schumacher with that squirrel.
Lon, what do you think of the magic of the rally squirrel or the rally cat?
Oh, I believe in it. After seeing what happened in 11 with that squirrel, are you kidding me?
What
totally
about
believe
the
in
cat's biology brought out the most in the Cardinals the other night and turned this season around?
I think it showed him, look, this cat has fight when it was picked up and
it's
on the way back in.
Cat.
It's got fight. It was biting. It was like, you know what?
The
Get me
big
out of your hands.
brother's trying to pick him
Absolutely.
up. No, everyone thinks you're going to win this battle. No, I'm going to fight and claw.
And
you're going to end up losing.
That cat said, I'm going to make my mark, whether we're going to win this division or not. I'm going to make my mark. I'm going to be memorable. And I think that Cardinal dugout in that clubhouse, I'm kidding with all of this, looked out there and said, you know what? That cat is showing us exactly what we need to do. We need to fight until we're done. That cat was fighting on the way up the steps at Busch Stadium. So I think that's exactly what he showed the Cardinals. And listen, it's
Yachty's bat was as quick as a cat.
That's exactly right.
That grand slam.
It is kind of cool.
And then Dex gets the grand slam last night, man.
I tell you what, there is a little magic, right? I've always told Jeremy when it gets to the fall and it gets to September, October, Busch Stadium has a little bit of magic to it.
Are the Royals a rival?
Kind of.
Or is that too far gone back in the 80s?
I think it was too far gone. Okay. I don't see him as a rival anymore.
Maybe in like Columbia, Missouri,
right
it is.
Right in the middle.
In Champaign, Cardinals Cubs is like at the epic rivalry right in Central Illinois. But here, I don't think many worry about that.
So. Now, I do have a serious thought on the Cardinals. The Cardinals are on a great winning streak, 6 games in a row. They've got a nice little slate here where you've got Atlanta at home while the Cubs are playing the Diamondbacks on the road. There is a really plausible way that the Cardinals could be in first place at the end of this week.
They could be tied tonight.
Exactly. It could very well happen. However, everybody goes on your winning streaks. It's what you do after that. Now, the one thing that separated the Cardinals, they hadn't been on one.
Yeah.
So here they're finally on one, but the Cubbies have done this before. I still have this feeling that everything is going to even back out, and the Cubs will be the better team in this division.
Cubs have the Diamondbacks this week, right? Then, after that, their schedule really lightens up, except for the Pirates, Brewers, and Cardinals. It's going to come down to those NL Central games, which is what Major League Baseball wants it to be. But the Cardinals, you have to sustain this. You have to sustain going on the streak because the Cubs are on one of their worst streaks right now, losing 6 of the last 8. Cardinals are on their best streak of the season. You have to sustain this to match the Cubs, whose schedule lightens up a little bit.
Without a doubt, and the Cardinals' schedule gets tougher. They're going to go on the West Coast. They're going to do those swings. They do get to play the Padres a bunch. And that last week of the season, it's not the final 3 games, which are against the Brewers, but 4 games at Busch Stadium against the Chicago Cubs. How fun will that be?
So on a scale, Austin Berkland, get that mic on, of 1 to 10, how nervous are you about the Cardinals right now? Austin Berkland back at the studio
3,
with
2,
a microphone
and
on.
1.
Not there.
It's not going to happen.
Okay, whatever.
I'll guess.
He's so nervous.
He's at a 7.
He's so nervous he doesn't want to go on the microphone.
That's exactly right. Because I'm here and he knows I'm just going to be smiling like I am right now.
Austin may be talking and we can't hear.
I'm back.
Okay,
there he is.
You were probably talking to everybody and we didn't hear you, or are you just in the intern room?
No, what happened was I didn't have headphones and I realized, oh crap, I can't hear you guys if I don't have my headphones on and the microphone on.
They're talking to me.
Yes.
They're making.
So it's kind of like
so how nervous are you, Austin?
Not too nervous, really, right now. Sahadev really calm my nerves.
I'm cool.
Just because of of the way that Chris Bryant's power has diminished due to his finger. That's going to get healthy. He's going to get on a power streak. And then Anthony Rizzo, just going to keep being steady Eddie in that locker room. It's all going to even out. The bullpen has had a rough stretch. I don't get too high or too low on bullpen arms, except whenever they are on an extremely long cold streak. So I'm fine right now. I've had time to think.
Shouldn't this be how it works every year? Okay, you've had time to think. I like that. Well, I hope you're thinking Sunday when we've got a 2-game lead in that division over your Chicago Cubs. I have no idea if that's going to happen.
Paul DeYoung just decides to go back to 0 for 25 and go back to that ISU walk-on type attitude instead of just this all-star mentality.
Austin, this is what the Cardinals do.
Yeah, this is the latest Cardinal to come out of nowhere.
This is a blueprint that has been around for 50 years.
What happened to Hazelbaker? Where's he at now? What's going on with him?
Well, we got one good year out of him, and we shipped him along. We'll probably do that to everybody else.
Isn't that cute? He's not that all-star that everyone said he was on Twitter back in the start of last year.
Rookie of the year.
Rookie of the year, exactly. I think it is funny that Brandon Moss just came through St. Louis, and now this weekend, Matt Adams will make his return. All these left-handed power hitters the Cardinals used to have making their return to Busch Stadium here for this stretch.
I hope this is a great race.
Paul DeYoung next year in that slot.
I hope this race stays close through the end of September because even that banter right there, oh, that's great.
Thank you, Austin. Appreciate it.
No problem.
Paul DeYoung, what if he has that ring on his finger? Oh. Doesn't matter what happens next year.
That could well, it hurt Colton Long. It hurt Colton Long, but he's back this year.
Not gonna beat
it is
the Dodgers.
Interesting. I thought we told you goodbye.
The Cardinals always beat the Dodgers. That's what they do. They always
Matt Carpenter will get up and wear out Kershaw on a 20-pitch at bat.
And you know what? They would beat the Cardinals. We were talking about this yesterday. They would face the Nationals.
Yes.
Dodgers are going to get the wild card, even though the National League Central winner is going to have a worse record, so they get a break.
The
NLDS. The Cubs would get the same break if they make it.
And Scherzer and Strasburg will be out.
Oh, yeah. Strasburg will be shut down in mid-September, and on we go.
We'll give you an update on the PGA Championship, where one Illini surprisingly in contention.
Okay.
A couple others really struggling. We'll also talk some Illini football. I have an over-under how many freshmen play.
Okay.
Or redshirt this season. I think we thought that number might be a little higher than the number I'll set it at.
Okay.
And then we'll break down the freshmen we think will make the biggest impact, position group we're most confident in, and position group that worries us the most. If you want to weigh in, you can. You can call the Jupiter's Crossing phone line or text the Cheap Hour text line at 217-359-2255. That's 359-2255. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Just search Tay and J Show. You can stream us live on our app. Just download the WSJK app. Watch us live on YouTube. Normally, you won't see us. You'll just see Austin Berkland.
Just running the
running
show.
The board. Get the podcast at ESPNCU.com or find us on iTunes. That's all powered by GTPS Insurance. I think it's Trevor Valise, Harry Black, and Austin Berkland.
And maybe Nathan DeHaan back there as well. And you should tune into the YouTube app because I think an F.E. Moran spot will be playing today.
Okay, and Austin is probably sitting there poking a Fredbird right now. It's exactly
Some
what he's doing.
Magic.
Thinking this. I just had a thought before we go to break. This is really bringing me back where we're at on the corner of Neal Street and Kirby, right down the way from Memorial Stadium and, of course, the State Farm Center. When I was a child and I'd come to football games, my parents would drop me off right here.
Oh,
because,
nice.
Dad was like, I'm not getting in that mess. I don't care if you're running across 100 lanes of traffic. Get out and go. And I just thought that. I know it's still warmer. Yeah. It's not necessarily football weather yet, but we're starting to get there. Just being outside today kind of gets you going for this Illinois football season. It's going to be fun.
I don't care how good or bad the team is. It's something about college football Saturdays.
Yep, it's awesome. It's fantastic. All right, we are live at Game Day Spirit. When we come back, you'll hear a update. We'll also go through some of the promotional things going on at Game Day Spirit. It's their opening weekend at their new store here at 1602 South Neal on the corner of Neal and Kirby.
Or College Football Fridays.
Yeah, wow, that's going to be interesting. It is the Tay and J Show.
It's another day. Bob returns after helping the Franklins.
Hey, Bob, how's it going?
I feel bad. Rooter guys lost another one.
Oh, let me guess. You did another no-clog guaranteed sewer replacement.
Yeah, I do feel good knowing we fixed their problem permanently for 40% less than conventional methods.
Got sewer problems at your home or business? Call Stevens Underground Solutions. We'll see what's going on and give you multiple options for a permanent solution. Stevens Underground Solutions, 202-3385. We'll get you flowing again.
Hi, I'm Damon Hackelman, owner of CleanRite in Champaign. If you're looking for a trusted restoration service company, just look for the guys in the blue trucks. At CleanRite, we understand that life happens, and we're ready to help. Our experienced service technicians will provide you with not only a quick response, but also honest answers and advice. For water, fire, smoke, or mold restoration, we're there when you need us. Call CleanRite today at 351-4930. That's 351-4930. Or just Google CleanRite Champaign.
Guidance, trust, protection, service. It's the mantra of GTPS Insurance. When you work with GTPS, you'll never have to call an 800 number in a different state. You deal with people who live and work in our community and know it's important to your business. GTPS is your local source for business insurance, property, general liability, workers' compensation, and group health insurance, and they'll work with you to formulate the best package for the needs of you and your business. Contact a GTPS insurance agent today at 359-9000 or visit online at gtpsinsurance.com.
Protecting your home and family, you better have a plan. Keep them safe from harm with a home alarm from F.E. Moran. Home invasions are on the rise all across the land, but they'll think twice when they see the sign for F.E. Moran. Don't wait till it's too late, it's time to make a stand. Call 877-FE Moran. F.E. Moran. Alarm.
Ask the Expert with Stevie J Broadcasting. If you're looking to refurbish your house, our friends at Country Arbor's Nursery and Kramer Siding and Windows will have your house the envy of the block. And while you're at it, tweak the inside with flooring surfaces and Lance Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Support our U of I community at the U of I Community Credit Union. Then make sure you're looking good with clothing from Game Day Spirit and a beautiful smile from West Main Dental. Ask an Expert. Visit StevieJay.com.
When you hit the brakes in time, but the guy behind you doesn't, get it to Gerber. When your teenager puts the dent in Stu Dent Driver, yep, get it to Gerber. Gerber Collision and Glass. Call 877-7-GERBER. Gerber comes highly recommended.
It's Lon Tay from ESPN 93.5, and whenever I need work done on my car, I go to Long's Garage. No, not Lon's Garage, Long's Garage in Urbana on Main Street just east of Schnucks. From engines and brakes to new tires, you can get a variety of auto maintenance assistance from the experts at Long's Garage Complete Auto Service. And this summer, beat the heat and come into Long's Garage for an AC check. Since 1941, Long's Garage has offered expert repair services. Visit them today at 503 East Main Street in Urbana, just east of Schnucks.
We alarm our houses and we alarm our cars. But when it comes to your personal information, it can be tough to know when something isn't right. That's where Discover Card can help. Now, we'll send you an alert if we find your social security number on any one of thousands of risky websites. And this service is free for card members. Just sign up online. It's our way of looking out for you, not just your account. Learn more at discover.com/free alerts. Limitations apply.
Your law enforcement official of the month. It's Devin Watkins, Deputy, Champaign County Sheriff's Department. But every time you go to work, you got your vest on. It could be imminent danger. You think about that?
I do. My family probably does more than what I do, just because I see that it is my career and it's what I've always wanted to do. So I don't go into it with fear. I go into it with, okay, who can I help today? And a little bit of excitement.
Okay. And have you been in some tough situations where kind of a thing?
Absolutely. I mean, there's been some situations where I'm like, oh, how am I gonna get this one to calm down? Okay. But normally it just takes a lot of what they call verbal judo. So we do a lot of talking, and I think I'm pretty good at doing that and talking people down. And I think it has a lot to do with maybe my size and the fact that I'm a female probably helps out a little bit, because I'm not super intimidating with my uniform on, so that sometimes helps.
Brought to you by SK Exteriors, their website, callsktoday.com.
Why drive to Key West when you can enjoy the new Tiki Bar and Patio at Daly's Sports Bar, 116 West Washington Street in Philo. With 9 flat-screen TVs and the MLB package, you can take in your favorite team's action live. Daily drink specials Wednesday through Friday evening from 5 to 9 p.m. Enjoy the Daly's Outback Food Wagon on the patio featuring special burgers, sandwiches, shrimp baskets, fried and grilled cod, nachos, tacos, and cheesy fries. Now through August 25th, enter to win a trip to Las Vegas with $100 cash drawings every Friday. There's no purchase necessary to enter and win. Code sponsored by XL Entertainment. Illinois' most chosen terminal operator. Play slots and win some cash at Dailies, featuring the latest and hottest slots. Come in and play slots, have a blast, some great food and drinks, and hit the jackpot. Be sure and enter for your chance to go to Vegas now through August 25th with $100 cash drawings every Friday at Daily Sports Bar, 116 West Washington in the heart of Philo. Must be 21 or older to play slots. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Delicious food, cold brews, great music and art, Kids Zone, and more. Join the Champaign Park District for the Taste of Champaign-Urbana happening August 18th and 19th in Westside Park, Champaign. Try something new. Get a sample of local favorites as you explore exciting food vendors. Hear free live music featuring Rock Country Act, Murphy 500, and the danceable Sun Stereo. The Taste of Champaign-Urbana has something for everyone, so come to Westside Park August 18th and 19th and be ready to eat. Get more information online today at champaignparks.com. That's champaignparks.com.
How did Edward Jones become one of the biggest financial services companies in the country? By not acting like one. Hi, I'm Mike Kessel, your Champaign Edward Jones financial advisor. Financial strategies, one-on-one advice, meeting on your schedule, not ours. That's how Edward Jones makes sense of investing. Contact me today at 217-352-0117. That's 352-0117. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
When you're heading home, Tay and J are on your way talking sports. Weekday afternoons 3 to 6 here on ESPN Radio 93.5.
Hello, I'm Austin Bergman with the 3:30 Sports Center update presented by State Farm John Haywood. Life insurance is one of the subjects that make people want to change their subject rather than admit they probably don't have enough. Find how the benefits of life insurance can live on for your family. Call State Farm agent John Haywood in Champaign at 217-367-1105. There was a flurry of movement in the NFL today. First was that Adam Schefter reported that the former Buckeye and current Dallas Cowboy running back Ezekiel Elliott will be suspended 6 games for violating the domestic abuse policy. He is expected to appeal. The Bills traded Sammy Watkins and a 6th-round pick in next year's draft to the Los Angeles Rams for cornerback E.J. Gaines and a 2018 second-round pick. And the most important trade was the Eagles traded wide receiver Jordan Matthews and a 3rd-round pick to the Bills for defensive back Ronald Darby. Now to actual football. The Bears had a preseason game and they took on the Denver Broncos. We start with the quarterbacks. Mike Glennon started the game and went 2 for 8 with a pick 6. Now, the real story was Mitchell Trubisky, who was 18 for 25 with 186 yards and a touchdown. 2016 first-round pick, Leonard Floyd got a sack on Northwestern alum Trevor Siemian. Bears fell, though, 24-17. To the diamond we go, and the Cardinals were swept by the Royals 8-6 last night. Another grand slam was hit, and it was by Dexter Fowler. The Birds on the bat are now just a single game behind the Cubs in the NL Central. The Cards have a weekend series against the Braves tonight. It's Fultonwitz versus Wainwright at 7:15 on 93.5 ESPNCU. The Cubs continue their West Coast swing with a series against Diamondbacks. It's Lackey versus Taijuan Walker. Game time is at 8:40 on US 105.9. And Derek Jeter bought the Marlins. Not my friends. Is the Sports Center update.
We have one small correction in Austin Berkland's update. The Cardinals were not swept by the Royals. Indeed, the other way around, the Cardinals swept the Royals. There you go, Austin. Get that right next time.
Hey, and how about the White Sox sweeping the Astros?
Ruining your plan here.
Yeah.
Well, what are they doing?
I mean, Yohan Moncada had a walk-off.
Right,
Andy
that's
had
fine.
a home run last night. I'm cool with that. If it goes a couple wins, I'll take the number 2 pick in the draft. You got Ronaldo Lopez up tonight, and that, my friends, is your White Sox update.
Bam! How about that? Is he starting tonight?
Yeah, Ronaldo Lopez starting.
So that's cool. You've got all sorts of
that.
stuff. You got
You got that
Trubisky,
going for us.
you got all these young kids for the White Sox. Hey, we are live at Game Day Spirit, their new location at the corner of Neal and Kirby. The exact address is 1602 South Neal. And today, tomorrow, and Sunday, this weekend, they've got some great promotions going on. So you need to come down and visit them all weekend while quantities last. This is limited quantities. Free promotional T-shirt with any purchase you make at Game Day Spirit. So they're throwing in a free T-shirt. Also, you get 30% off socks, 25% off jerseys if you're wanting to update your jersey collection, or if you have kids like I do and they outgrow them immediately, 25% off jerseys, 30% off all Under Armour high school apparel. Getting close to high school football. If you still need to get something for your son, 30% off Under Armour high school apparel. And Andrew Tay would be excited about this. Those little fidget spinners, they got them for $5.
Hello. So big of a deal
that
the
Carl
ambulance
went
has to
by.
come here.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
$5 fidget spinners, and that is at Game Day Spirits, brand new location right here in the corner of Neal and Kirby, right across from McDonald's.
Yeah. Miami Marlins owner Jeffrey Loria has agreed to sell his team for $1.2 billion to a group that includes former New York Yankees star Derek Jeter and businessman Bruce Sherman. That's according to Barry Jackson of the Miami Herald.
I like it.
Jeter is chipping in $25 million.
Just throwing in $25 million.
That's about what? 10% of what he made as a player?
Maybe.
I'd say that's about right.
Yeah, about 10% of what he made as a player. So he's going to be a minority owner, but it's big for Miami, which Jeffrey Loria has probably been the least liked owner in Major League Baseball. To have a guy like Derek Jeter as one of the faces of that ownership group, that's good for them, and I think that's great for baseball.
Well, I've always looked at the Marlins, even though, yes, they have a couple of World Series, I've always kind of just looked at them with not a lot of seriousness. So now that Derek Jeter gets there and he becomes, like you said, a face of that team, I think that automatically gives him some cachet card going forward. I now just need Derek Jeter to trade the Cardinals one of those big bats, like Stanton, Ozuna, whatever. Just I need him to get in there and start making some moves. Let's get this thing going. And I wonder now that they've done that, now that the sale is done, I wonder if the Marlins, it'd be hard now with all the waivers, clearing waivers, but it'd be interesting to see if they do get a little aggressive here near the end of the year.
Well, they might rebuild this thing, too. I mean, that'll be the interesting offseason they got ahead. Loria bought the Marlins for $158.5 million.
These guys all make so much money.
And now sold it for $1.2 billion. Plus, he got taxpayers to pay for most of that stadium.
Listen, if you have money, you're going to make money, right? It's that simple. And this is what Derek Jeter, we laugh at his $25 million he's throwing in. Carp in 10 years, when we find out they've sold it, he's going to turn that into a $100 million investment. I mean, these things don't lose money.
Is it wrong that when we were talking about the Miami Marlins or Florida Marlins back in the day, that when you said 158, I thought you were going to say 1,000 after that? But the crazy thing is, what a weird franchise history that they've had, where you've had two World Series championships within the span of 7 seasons.
Yes.
And then apart from that, been irrelevant for the most part. I mean, all the talent that was there on those 2 World Series teams, and each time afterwards, somewhat of a fire sale. More after the 97 World Series, but even after 2003, you saw that team dissolve pretty quickly. So Loria, for many reasons, deservedly so, is disliked down there. And after that stadium deal where the city, I think, just... it cost them, I forget how many tons of money.
On that.
Yeah, totally
$600 million or something for taxpayers.
And
that is an ugly stadium.
It is.
I've never been to the outside, so I shouldn't say that. Maybe from the outside it looked, but inside, when you see that, I'm like, this thing looks just goofy. Yeah. So I don't know, but hey, he's making money today, right? Going to the bank and a happy man.
At the PGA Championship at Quail Hollow in Charlotte, Kisner is your leader at 8 under par. Then it's Matsuyama at 5 under. Then you got a trio of guys at 4 under. Jason Day, Louis Oosthuizen, and Stroud. Your boy Ricky Fowler at 3 under. Juan, and Jordan Spieth at 1 over. Or 2 over for the tournament. He's 1 over for the day. He's tied for 31st.
Not amazing. He's 10 shots back right now.
Rory McIlroy, part of that group as well. We do have one Illini that is in contention. That's D.A. Points. He shot a 2 over today, 73, but shot a 68 yesterday. He's currently tied for 11th with 7 strokes off the lead. Mike Small not doing so well. He shot a 80 yesterday and a 79 today.
Wouldn't we all feel horrible for shooting a 79 in a PGA championship, and yet you're now being laughed at almost by the rest of the field?
He's 17 over. He's not going to make the cut. Thomas Peters has struggled as well. He did not have a good day yesterday. Shot a 79. Today he's 2 under, so he's trying to get back above that cut line, but he's got more work to do. He's on hole 8 right now.
Well, once again, you're staring at a leaderboard that doesn't have a lot of names, and this is exactly what they faced in the U.S. Open. And if Jordan Spieth isn't up there, if Phil Mickelson's not up there, you do have Ricky Fowler.
Yeah,
that
Fowler and Day.
And Jason Day will help as well. But you're staring at some new names. Like Kevin Kisner, he's a great golfer, obviously, but it'll be interesting to see. But you look at that, and Spieth is 10 shots back right now. Can you make up 10 shots in 2 days?
He can.
He can. That's the thing.
Yeah,
He's got to be solid.
You got to have other people come down to you. But obviously the course is playing pretty tough right now.
It is. And Kisner's playing it so well, so we'll see what happens. I didn't get a chance to see any of the action yesterday. I'm recording it right now. I'm going to watch tonight, have a kind of a lazy Friday night watching the PGA Championship. But I have heard that course playing tough. The greens are incredible. They said they're fast, and you barely touch a ball. Yeah. The thing goes flying by the hole.
All right, boys, we've got Robert Rosenthal to start next hour. He'll be live here at Game Day Spirit. He had nothing else to do since they don't have practice today. Took a day off from work to be up here. And
you don't want to head to Murphy's or Bunny's or something?
Could do that. Maybe after he comes on with us.
There you go.
But when we come back, let's talk a little Illinois football. I want to ask you which freshman you expect to make the biggest impact this year, which position group you're most confident in, and which position group worries you the most.
Okay, I like that. And you can vote on those, by the way, at the Tay and J Twitter. We're having polls. Just search at Tay and J Show on Twitter. We are live at Green Street. We're going to be here until 6. Come down. They've got great deals going on. Come out and shake Mike Carpenter's hand. It is the Tay and J Show.
328-2424. Tapman's Towing. 24 hours every day. Tapman's Towing. 328-2424. Tapman's Towing. 328-2424. Tapman's Towing. 24 hours every day. Tapman's Towing. We have pull and we're hooked on you. Tapman's Towing.
Beacon Insurance and your local independent agent are committed to providing the best coverage options and the best service possible. They're available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week at beaconinsurance.com and on social media. Check them out on Facebook at facebook.com/Beacon Insurance. It's a great way to learn more about insurance for your auto, home, life, or business. You'll stay up to date with important announcements. Plus, they'll throw in a few fun facts along the way. For beyond the expected information, follow Beacon Insurance on Facebook today.
Winning can be fun, and we love giving away free stuff, but we want to make sure it's fair for everyone. So here are the rules when competing to win on ESPN 93.5. No purchase necessary. Prize must be collected within 30 days during business hours, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. at 2702 Boulder in Urbana. ESPN Radio assumes no liability due to circumstances beyond our control, and any prize may be substituted with a prize of equal or greater value. Winners are liable for any taxes, tips, or other miscellaneous charges associated with the prize. All contestants must have a valid ID and social security number. Our judges' decisions are final and reserve the right to end any contest at any time for any reason without notice. In the event that a contestant is found to be ineligible for a prize, said prize will not be awarded. And if you win, we reserve the right to use your likeness or voice on the radio or online, and any winners must wait 30 days to win again. Get a complete list of rules and more information on any contest on ESPN Radio at ESPNCU.com. Those are the rules, and good luck from ESPN 93.5.
Tay and J Show, ESPN Radio 93.5. Lonte, Jeremy Warner, Mike Carpenter. We're live at Game Day Spirit, their new location on the corner of Neal and Kirby, right down the way from Memorial Stadium, where they will be playing football soon. Jeremy, what is that, Labor Day weekend it starts?
Yeah, September
against
2nd.
Ball State. Let's get it rolling, man. I'm ready for football season.
All right, so we got some poll questions up at Tay and J Show on Twitter. So let's run through these, boys, and you give me your answers. Let's start with a positive one.
Okay.
In which Illini position group do you have the most confidence? I give you 4 choices: running back, linebacker, receiver, or secondary.
I went receiver here.
You are bullish on the receivers.
I'm bullish on the receivers. Now, the one thing that you need for the receivers to be good is a quarterback to get it to them. So I'm banking on Chase Crouch or Jeff George or whomever, Cam Thomas.
Probably got to be Chase Crouch.
Yeah, I would assume Chase getting the ball to these guys. But you've got a legitimate NFL guy, I think, at least body-wise, in Malik Turner. You've got Mikey Dudek coming back. Yes, he's been through these injuries. I still am a guy that cannot wait to see this kid go out and play. I know everybody is, but that's a freshman All-American 2 years ago. I'm sure he's lost some speed. He's lost a little bit of that, but
doesn't look like it.
He's still out there, man.
That doesn't look like it.
And that's huge. So those are 2 weapons right there. Plus, you throw in a Ricky Smalling, who's a rookie. You throw in Kendall Smith. And then you've got Carmani Green, Sam Mays.
Tom Thiemann.
That's the kid I always forget. You've got 6 or 7 deep at that receiver position. Again, it's a little risky on my part. It could easily go running back. Those guys just get the ball and go. But they have to rely on an offensive line as well. I'm relying on this receiver core being really good this year.
And real quick, again, the question is,
which position group do you have the most confidence?
And to play devil's advocate, because I would agree with receivers, but the only thing that makes me maybe not go with them unanimously would be that, okay, how are they going to get the ball?
Sure.
So knowing
health too. Health's a big concern.
Sure, yeah. And knowing the running ability that Chase Crouch has.
Mm-hmm.
And even a guy like Reggie Corbin, who hasn't been too much in the conversation, he just got back to practice yesterday, right?
Yeah, and he didn't do much.
Okay.
To be honest with you, I think Reggie Corbin might be the third guy.
And he was, he was solid last year, all things considered. And then you get Kendrick Foster back, and then Mike Epstein's having a good camp so far. I just think in this offense, if you're doing a lot of option stuff, a lot of read option or zone read, whatever, with Chase Crouch, these running backs will be fine. And I know I heard on the show, I think Wednesday, Jeremy, where you were talking about the offensive line run blocking.
Solid.
Maybe okay.
Yeah.
Pass blocking, not so much. That's the only reason I knocked the receivers down, just by default.
Okay.
How are they going to get the ball, and how often?
And don't forget Rayvon Bonner as well.
Yeah, I like those freshmen.
Yeah, you do.
I think Epstein's going to be more of a impact guy this year maybe than Reggie Corbin.
Fair enough.
I know Reggie had a nice year last year, and he can make people miss in a phone booth, but he doesn't have that burst that Mike Epstein has right now. Plus, Rayvon just gives you a bigger back that you don't have right now. And Kendrick Foster looks good.
Yep.
You know? So I think your running back, you are deep there. But if you ask me most confidence, I go linebacker.
Okay.
Because I think you have 6 Big Ten guys there. I don't know if you have a superstar there.
Fair enough.
But Trey Watson is a good Big Ten middle linebacker. I like what I've seen out of Jay Canson, Julian Jones. And if even those guys struggle, Delshon Phillips is starting to look more comfortable. The JUCO linebacker, he looks the part. Maybe just needs to get in some game shape right now. DeLay Harding has had a great camp when it comes to run block or run stuffing. And then Justice Williams is a long, lanky guy who I think can make some plays. And that doesn't even bring up the third group of the linebackers, which is actually a solid group. So I just think depth-wise, I feel most comfortable with linebacker. But running back is right there.
Without a doubt.
I just wanted to get the linebacker.
I love the fact that all three of us went with a different one almost. Yeah. But yet you could see how you could make an argument for any one of those position groups.
All right, so which one at position group worries you the most? They give you 4 choices. Quarterback, offensive line, defensive line, and I put these two together, tight end specialists.
You're going to make fun of me here.
Yeah.
I'm not going offensive line.
Yeah.
I have a feeling that they're going to get this figured out. They're going to get everybody, I don't want to say everybody healthy, but they're going to get healthy. And this offensive line is out to prove something this year. And I think Larry Boyd will help them establish everybody in their correct position. I think Alec Reddy, I think Meganson will slowly figure this out. Not slowly, I think he will do it. And this offensive line, I think, is still going to struggle. Don't get me wrong. But per this question, I'm actually going defensive line here. And I know you like a lot of these defensive tackles. I'm scared to death that you've got 2 line on the outside and ends that really have never even played.
I'm glad you're talking about this because I think there's a lot of talent there.
Mm-hmm.
I think defensive tackle, you got a pretty good group. I agree with you. The edge is a big concern.
It's a huge concern.
Sean Adesanya has never played here.
Right.
Right?
That's scary.
James Crawford is 225 pounds, but he's small for a defensive end. Good pass rusher. Can he stop the run? And I really like Bobby Roundtree, guys. I think he's going to be special. He's a freshman.
He's a freshman. And Carp, I've been watching Big Ten football now for about 38 years with understanding what I'm watching, and I've seen a lot of these guys run the football really well. That hasn't changed at Wisconsin. That hasn't changed at Iowa. That's the thing that scares me the most is this defensive line stopping a run.
Yeah, it almost makes a game against Wisconsin or Iowa look tougher than Nebraska, which is going to go more that pro-style offense. And you know what you're going to get with Iowa even.
Yes.
I know you can compete with them last year, not so much. But that's just a game where they might be boring, but they're bigger.
Yep.
They're stronger. And they just know how to run that system where if you have a young defensive line that doesn't have the size that it needs, let alone the experience, those kinds of games can be those really sleepy 31-13.
That's a good
call. It was never close. They maybe didn't blow you out, but you knew you had no chance.
That's a good call. And Mike Fair's a great coach. So's Lovie Smith. So's Hardy Nickerson.
I think this group could be special in a couple of years.
But when you've got young kids and you've got another team making switches at half, et cetera, you're gonna call them out.
I think this group can get after the quarterback.
Okay.
I do. But like Carp said, You don't have a lot of those teams in the Big Ten. You're not in the Big 12. You're not in the Pac-12.
Exactly.
All right, these teams run the ball down your throat, and that's what Illinois struggled with for so many years.
No doubt.
Stopping Wisconsin, stopping Iowa. I agree with you. Nebraska likes to throw the ball. I like that matchup better. I like those matchups better for this team. Quarterback, I think you could really vote for. Because if Chase Crouch gets hurt, that's a big problem. Chase Crouch also has thrown a lot of interceptions in training camp so far. And if you don't have a good
secondary, that's why.
Right. That's
if you don't have a good quarterback, you're going to struggle a little bit. But I do think if Chase Crouch is healthy, this offense is going to be better, more dynamic. I think it's going to be harder to defend with him, even if he's not a great passer. I worry about the offensive line giving him time to throw, giving the receivers, which are great weapons, a chance to be effective.
Exactly.
Because even if I think this team's going to be a solid running team, you got to pass at some point. Illinois is going to be down, I think, a lot. You're going to have to throw the ball.
Yes.
And so far in practice, they have not been able to protect the quarterback or give him time, and there is so little depth there. I think there are 6 realistic Big Ten offensive linemen on this team.
Wow.
And 2 of them are true freshmen. Right? And Vidarian Lowe is not healthy right now, so eventually he will be. They need a lot more depth. If they have an injury or two, this group's really scary when you get to Big Ten play.
And you think about Chase Crouch throwing, and you wonder if the happy feet that we saw with Wes Lunt, maybe for good reason, you wonder, even though Chase Crouch has good feet, you like the fact that he can run. You wonder when that happy feet comes. In other words, Carp, he doesn't give it the next second for Dudek to get open or Smalling or Turner to get open, and instead he tucks it and goes.
The one thing Chase does have is Dudek. I mean, if Dudek's healthy,
that's correct.
Riley O'Toole used him a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, that's when Dudek really took off, was with Riley, because he can move around, get open, find a spot, and you just check down to him, and that can be huge for
and come on, if you're Chase Crouch, you're looking at Mike. You love Malik Turner, you love everybody else you got, but as soon as you get into a little bit of a pinch, you know exactly where your hot read is, if you will, even though he wouldn't be the hot read every time. Dudek would be the guy.
A mobile quarterback can neutralize a somewhat rough offensive line. And we saw Nathan Shieldhouse have to do that through much of his career, but at the same time, apart from his first 2 years here, Nathan's team struggled. I mean, that just goes to show. If you don't have a good offensive line, yes, there is explosive potential with this offense. I just don't see them being very consistent. I guess at this point you just hope that there's a few games you can point at and say, well, this is something to build on going next year when that offensive line is bigger and you actually have depth.
All right, we have one more. We've got a minute, guys. Which Illini football freshman will make the biggest impact in 2017? I'd give you Larry Boyd, Bobby Roundtree, Ricky Smalling, or other. I'd probably put Bennett Williams, Mike Epstein, Tony Adams, maybe in that group.
I tried to overthink this, and I hope it's Larry Boyd because that means that whole offensive line will be set in good shape. I'm going Ricky Smalling, though. I think he's got the ability, Carp, to go out and make some plays. I think he'll be the guy.
Tony Adams has a few interceptions this camp, right?
He does.
I'll go with that.
Okay,
I
like
like the young secondary guys, and Tony Adams.
I'm going Larry Boyd.
Okay.
Because he's the biggest need they have. Right? I mean, Ricky's could be huge. I mean, he could be number one.
But you're right. There's depth at that wide receiver.
Bobby, I think, is going to start. Bobby Roundtree, a defensive end at some point this season. But Larry Boyd, when he's off the field, it's been noticeable.
Yeah.
I mean, he looks the part. He's really a good player, and they have such a need on that offensive line.
Mufflers are important.
Yeah, they are.
They're really important when you're doing outside shows.
So are offensive linemen.
So are offensive linemen. We are doing our show live at Game Day Spirit. Robert Rosenthal, Illini. He joins us next. It is the Tay and J Show.
About ready? We leave in 3 minutes. Do you have clothes?
Yep. Got on my grandma's gloves. She always wore those when she went there. Not too fancy of a dress. Should be safe.
What if we get there and find out these are the wrong style? I'm bringing several changes of clothes. There should be a place where we can change, right? What else are you bringing?
A guilt girdle. You know, to help suppress all those things I'm ashamed of or embarrassed about. You packed a Bible, right? They'll never let us in without that. What if we have the wrong version?
No worries. I bought every version there is and have them in the suitcase. Well, here we go.
Good morning. Welcome to Muhammad Christian Church. Don't need to bring all that baggage.
But we were going to change into...
That's not necessary. You can be yourself here.
Really? Just be us?
Yep. Hey, Mike, you want to put this with the rest of the luggage?
What a relief. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Muhammad Christian Church. No luggage required. We've been expecting you.
Want to save money you're smoking and spitting away? Want the friendliest, most knowledgeable staff to help you along the way? Vapors E-Cigs LLC is the place for you. Let their amazing staff help you find the best hardware and juice for you. Earn reward points you can use for discounts on coils, juice, and even 70% off a kit. Do you already vape? Go check out their over 30 premium lines of juice and amazing selection of hardware. Located at 1903 North Neal Street in Champaign and 2 East Main Street next to the courthouse in Danville. Now's definitely the time to stop by Vapors E-Cigs LLC.
For nearly a decade, Prospect Bank has operated as a part of Edgar County Bank and Trust Company. And recently, we consolidated our operations under the Prospect Bank name, a name that reflects who we are today and where we hope to go in the future. Hi, I'm Eric Volkman, Prospect Bank President and CEO. I'm here to tell you that thanks to the trust this community has shown us over the years, our bank is growing. And you're going to see the Prospect name in lots of new places across Illinois. Learn more about how we can help you at bankprospect.com.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender. It's Game Day Spirits grand opening at 1602 South Neal Street, Friday, August 11th through the 13th. Game Day will kick off their grand opening with a live broadcast Friday from ESPN's Tay and J Show from 3 to 6 p.m. Score a free promotional t-shirt with any purchase while supplies last. 30% off all socks and high school Under Armour apparel. 25% off all jerseys and more. Plus, register to win the Game Day Illinois football experience, including 4 stadium club passes, tickets to the opening game, and a $100 Game Day gift card. It's the grand opening of Game Day Spirits' newest store, 1602 South Neal Street, the weekend of August 11th through the 13th.
This fall, tune into Q96 for JT Walker's High School Sports Showcase. Each Friday night, Justin Taylor will be on the call for the best area high school football matchups, featuring Centennial, Central, Urbana, Mahomet Seymour, St. Joseph Ogden, Unity, Monticello, and St. Thomas More. This season of JT Walker's High School Sports Showcase is also brought to you by Carl Sports Medicine, Country Financial Agent Jesse DeHaan, Alani Mattress, Long's Garage, Rook Doctors, and Tapman's Towing. JT Walker's High School Sports Showcase, Friday nights this fall on Q96.
You're listening to WSJK ESPN 93.5 Tuscola, Champaign-Urbana, your home for the St. Louis Cardinals.
And the North Koreans showdown.
I hope that they are going to fully understand the gravity of what I said. And what I said is what I mean.
The president speaking to reporters within the last hour at his New Jersey golf resort. Fox's Rick Leventhal is there.
The president once again lashing out. Here's some more of what he said.
If he does anything with respect to Guam or any place else that's an American territory or an American ally, he will truly regret it, and he will regret it fast.
Earlier today, North Korea released a statement of its own saying it considered the U.S. no more than a lump which we can beat to a jelly at any time.
The Pentagon says if the order comes, B-1 bombers on Guam are ready.
Following a series of propaganda films from North Korea, the Pentagon today released a motivational video of its own, starring Admiral Harry Harris, head of Pacific Forces.
The United States is going to remain a powerful leader in the Indo-Asia-Pacific. And our joint forces will continue a robust and persistent presence in the region.
The Ronald Reagan Strike Group returned to Japan this week following a 3-month deployment, but could return to sea in a matter of days if called upon, according to officials, who also say there has not been a request to send more naval assets to the region.
Fox's Lucas Tomlinson at the Pentagon. In the midst of the rhetoric, quieter talk deep behind the scenes. The AP reporting back-channel diplomatic communications continue. Wall Street rebounding.
Stocks on Wall Street close higher after 3 days of selling. The Dow Jones Industrial Average up 14 points at 21,858. The Nasdaq Composite up nearly 40 at 6256. The S&P 500 up more than 3, closing at 2441.
Fox's Nicole Petalides at the New York Stock Exchange. The Fox Report, fair and balanced.
For every gun owner, pulling the trigger in lawful self-defense is the absolute last resort. None of us want to do it, but what if you have to? Have you considered the serious financial and legal consequences that could come from just doing what you had to do to save your life or the life of a loved one? I'm Dana Lash with the NRA. I carry my firearm every day. But the truth is, right behind your firearm, your second most important self-defense protection is a rock-solid carry policy. That's why I believe in NRA Carry Guard. It's the most comprehensive coverage and training for those who carry, developed by the only brand gun owners can trust to have their backs, no matter what. NRA Carry Guard members can choose up to $1 million in insurance-backed protection, plus 24/7 access to a first response crisis management team, an online video library, and much more. Learn more and sign up today at at nracarry.com or call 1-866-NRA-1234 to become an NRA Carry Guard member right now.
Testimony has concluded for the day. Attorneys for Taylor Swift asking a judge in Denver to throw out a defamation suit against her filed by a disc jockey fired 4 years ago after Swift said he groped her at a pre-concert meet and greet. Swift's security guard testifying today that he witnessed the incident. Earlier, attorneys for David Mueller rested their case against Swift. The judge is now considering that motion. The Los Angeles City Council unanimously passing a memorandum of understanding and a contract to host the 2028 Summer Olympics. Los Angeles Mayor Eric Garcetti optimistic about what that will mean for the city.
What the Olympics means to us and to this city is what every human being yearns for. To see all of us lay down our arms and our conflicts and to come together and to see what our human potential is.
A South Carolina man sentenced for shooting a police officer. The drama captured on the officer's body camera.
Malcolm Orr got 35 years in prison for what happened.
Take your hands out your pocket!
On New Year's Day 2016. Estill, South Carolina police officer Quincy Smith had a camera in his glasses showing Orr shooting him.
Dispatch, Echo 7, I'm hit.
While responding to a robbery call.
I'm hit in my neck someplace.
A vein in his neck was severed. The bullets also broke bones in Smith's arm. The video was released by the 14th Circuit Solicitor's Office. Orr was convicted Wednesday of attempted murder and a gun charge. Dave Anthony, Fox News.
Second round at the PGA Golf Championship in Charlotte, North Carolina. Kevin Kisner, the current round leader. He's at 8 under par. Hideki Matsuyama, 2 strokes back. Jason Day is in third, 3 behind. Dallas Cowboys running back Ezekiel Elliott says he will appeal a 6-game suspension for domestic violence handed down by the NFL today. I'm Jack Callahan, Fox News Radio.
Here's your ESPN Radio 3-day forecast brought to you by Chief Bauer. Trust the experts at Chief Bauer Service Experts to keep you cool all summer long. Call 866-EXPERTS, or you can visit them online at chiefbauer.com. Tonight, partly cloudy, a low of 59. Saturday, a little cooler, mostly sunny, high 79, low of 55. Sunday, sunny, high 80, a low of 58. Beautiful weekend. Right now, partly cloudy, but mostly sunny, 84 in Champaign-Urbana.
Fantastic. Just fantastic. It is the Tay and J Show. Lon Tay, Jeremy Warner, Mike Carpenter taking a little break here. We are at brand new Game Day Spirit, 1602 South Neal. It's right on the corner of Neal and Kirby, right across from McDonald's. You know the spot. If you come out this weekend, while supplies last, they're giving away a free promotional T-shirt with any purchase that you make at Game Day Spirit. They also have this, 30% off all socks. I know my 2 boys spend fortunes on socks. 25% off jerseys, 30% off Under Armour for high school apparel. So if you've got a son that's getting ready for high school football, 30% right now off at Game Day Spirit, and they've got $5 fidget spinners. I know everybody loves those. So come down to Game Day Spirit. We're going to be here until 6 o'clock.
And we have a special guest joining us live here at Game Day Spirit at the corner of Neal and Kirby. I texted him because I was like, I don't think he's got anything else better to do on his vacation day as Illinois canceled practice today. He's Robert Rosenthal, IlliniBoard.com. How you doing, Robert?
I'm okay. I've gotten over my grief. I actually had a friend text me saying, there'll be other practices out there.
Are you okay?
You'll get by this someday.
You'll look back at this as a learning moment.
Yeah.
Well, Lana always calls it every once in a while my real job. You have a real job, right? Between writing all this stuff at IlliniBoard.com.
Yes, this is a vacation day from the real job that turned out for nothing.
You get a nice day in Champaign-Urbana. The weather's beautiful.
Nice day, except I sat in the hotel room and wrote a bunch of blog posts. So
hey, we're geeks at heart,
stuff.
Right?
Yeah.
We're geeks at heart.
Exactly.
Well, Robert, what do you make of the new setup? I'm kind of enjoying it. It's not your Rantoul, your escape every year, but Lovie Smith wants it on campus, and now they have it at the rec fields over by Florida Avenue.
Yeah, I think it's been great. I think it's a lot better than last year.
Yeah.
A lot better setup because they can separate their, the big thing is to be able to separate, okay, specialists are working on this, they need to go to this field way over here, have some sound differences and, not have everybody right on top of each other. On the practice fields next to the indoor, they're right next to each other, and there's not maybe as much space to do it as what they do here. So it's a really great setting, especially that far field back on St. Mary's that the fans can sit on the hillside there. Like, it's a really good camp kind of feel. So I like it. I hope they keep doing it.
So, Robert, I know you haven't seen the entire camp, but just what is sticking out to you right now about this team?
Yeah, I mean, there's one theme, and it's the youth.
Yep.
I think, I wrote about this last night after some discussion with friends, and I had a friend who was at practice. I talked to Coach McGee after practice about his freshmen, and he mentioned, this isn't just we're a new program and these are our guys we're running. We think some of these guys are the best players on our team.
Wow.
And we're going with them. Like, they are beating out the guys who are ahead of them, and so we're running with them. So that's kind of the biggest thing, that it's a really talented freshman class. Yes, freshmen are going to make mistakes, and it's, there's going to be some issues like that, but it's interesting to see how much they're leaning on these freshmen already, and just, all right, get out there, kid. I know you only know 20% of the playbook so far, but good luck.
And you know what you like about that, Robert? Yes, it's going to be a rough first year for these kids, no doubt. Maybe some of them will have a better year than expected, but 2-3 years down the road, this experience they're getting now will be invaluable, and that's really when guys like us and fans in general are pointing at a Lovie Smith team maybe next year, 2019, 2000, right in that 20 in that area of this program making the next step. It's going to be guys like this that are freshmen this year getting the hard knocks, if you will, but then when they're juniors and seniors, man, they're going to have a lot of experience already.
Yeah, and you'll see a lot of coaches do that of, okay, my AD is going to give me years to build this.
Yes.
Experience is great. I'm just going to play whoever the freshmen are and just going to run with it. You'll see them do that if they have a comfort with their AD that I've got time to do this, because once a guy gets 800 snaps under his belt, he's going to be pretty good, So you get talented kids to do that, you're going to be great. So that's how most of the rebuilds have been.
Which freshman makes the biggest impact this year?
Gosh,
there's a lot to choose from.
There's so many to choose from.
There are.
You and I were discussing it last night at practice. I think I'm still going to go with Bobby Roundtree. It's hard for a defensive end to be ready for a giant offensive line and to play the run as a defensive end. Sure, he's going to be a good pass rusher, but can he play the run? But he's just so impressive to me. His body is not NFL ready, but college ready.
Sure.
He has that framework of, more than the other defensive end. So I got to go with Bobby Roundtree. He's wearing Simeon's number. So,
oh, nice.
So when I see a 97 coming off the edge, clean, getting past, I get a little too excited.
Something worried me there. So you guys sit at football practice and you talk about football. I mean, I think you two would be talking about movies or cold beer or something. No, you sit there while watching practice talking football.
I'm going to do a rankings, and of the freshmen I think will make an impact, I think Boyd won.
Okay.
But I was talking with Robert. I go, Roundtree's definitely top 3 for me. Smalling's top 3. And
huge.
That's not including a couple other guys who are going to play starters reps on this team, Robert.
Yeah, and it's, you see Bennett Williams running with the first string still at safety. Now Stanley Green's suspended first half of the first game because he got ejected in the Northwestern game, and NCAA rules mean you have to sit out, first half. So, they have to have somebody ready for that spot. So maybe that's why he's getting so many reps, and then it's Green's spot. But still, it's everywhere you look. I came up here expecting, hey, there's going to be a lot of freshmen on the field. They're going to turn, and it's like twice that. As you mentioned yesterday, is anyone going to redshirt?
I said over under 4.5, and I think that might be high. Now, guys who redshirt.
And I think even last year Lovie showed that.
Yeah.
With even those freshmen he played them. All right, Robert, if I asked you not necessarily what freshman's going to play the most and have the biggest impact, which one needs to have the biggest impact? I think I know what you're going to say, but if there's one freshman that at the end of the year had a major impact on this team, which one would it have been that would have been best for Illinois this season?
If one of or both the freshman offensive linemen are ready, it's a huge boost to this team because they have, you've got Mikey Dudek, you've got Malik Turner, you have receivers, you have Kendrick Foster, Reggie Corbin, freshman Epstein looks really good at tailback. You have these pieces to make an offense go, but gigantic question marks on the offensive line.
Huge.
If offensive line can't do anything, none of those pieces matter because, quarterback won't have time, tailbacks won't have holes, everything else. So if one or both of those freshman offensive linemen could be ready and could give you, Big Ten minutes, then that'd
be huge.
That would be massive.
I had Palczewski as one of the definite redshirt guys. Yeah. And then I come here and I go, he's going to play. And he's going to play a lot. I mean, is he the most surprising freshman to you, or is there somebody else in there?
I would say Bennett Williams is the most surprising. He was a late recruit. Maybe they missed out on some of their other safety tackles. At least at the time, it felt like he was the kind of the plan B recruit. And he's that really smart center fielder for the defense who can sit back, and his job is 95% to read things and what's the defense doing, and are they trying to trick me with this? And he's been really impressive so far. So I would say Bennett Williams, but yeah, it's, I could put 5 guys on that list.
Well, without a doubt.
I mean, Tony Adams come back from an ACL. He looks like the starter at corner.
And that would help too, right? We'd be fine with that. A guy opposite Jalen Dunlap for sure.
Yeah.
Robert Rosenthal is our guest, IlliniBoard.com. Follow him on Twitter at @IlliniEye. All right, Chase Crouch. Sounds like some of these quarterbacks have been pick heavy recently at some of these practices. How much does that concern you? What do you think of Chase Crouch? I know we've asked you this in previous interviews, but what do you think now as we draw closer? It sounds like from everything you read and all the guys you hear that they really do buy into him as a leader, which is important. Yeah. How do you think of a Chase Crouch-led team going in?
He's been a little rusty, I'll say. I've seen him perform better in practice compared to this. Now, granted, he hasn't been full go until this practice. He had the surgery. He was out for most of the spring. They had some throwing drills, but as far as live football, this is his first time doing it since the injury in October in the Rutgers game. So, he looks rusty out there. He's going to have to shake that rust really quick because he's going to have to make the whole thing go.
No doubt.
And he's had one start. So, I always say, like, all college quarterbacks need, 6 games where they can get all the kinks out and everything else before they're going to be really effective. So, unfortunately, we're going to see those, and we're going to see him make those mistakes and figure things out. And your hope is when you get to the second half of the season and maybe some of these teams on the schedule are struggling, like in Indiana or somebody who has a new system or a new coach, the hope is that then you really start to see progress.
I've never seen him pass the ball well in practice. I've never seen it, right? Like, the best I've ever seen him throw was that Purdue game.
Yes, without question.
So the thing about Chase that you love is the intangibles are through the roof, and he can run. So he's going to be more difficult for teams to defend because it's actually 11 on 11. If he's healthy, I still think this offense is better, Robert. I mean, offensive line, I have huge questions about. But even with the Chase being inaccurate, none of that is new to me. It's just, for me, can the offensive line be good enough to give him a chance and to keep him healthy?
Yes, I even said 2 years ago I thought they might play him a little bit just because he fits the scheme, just because it's funny that this quote comes from Charlie Weiss, who in college football is now known as he ruined 2 football programs.
Exactly.
But one that was already ruined.
But exactly. But I so agree with. He made a statement once that in college football these days, if you're playing with a quarterback who's just a pocket quarterback, you're basically playing 10 against 11 because they don't have to respect the run like they do with every other team they face, and you're 10 on 11. You have to have that option.
Which is why I'm kind of bullish on the Nebraska game a little bit, but we can talk about that later.
Yes, exactly. Because you've just seen it, in college. What is it? 80% of quarterbacks at least have a level of a threat that they're going to run. It's just how the game is.
It is.
So to have so many quarterback, the last 3 years, Lunt just wasn't going to run.
Nope.
Teams knew that. They didn't have to spy him at all with a linebacker in the pocket. It just changes the way you play defense. So I think just adding that will be good for this offense. And then, obviously, if the passing game comes around, he comes around.
Yeah.
Is Gabe Meganson going to get it this year? I mean, I know he's going to get it eventually. The kid is talented. He came in as a big recruit.
Yeah.
This offensive line needs him. I know we talk about needing some of these freshmen to make an impact. We pretty much know what we have with a guy like Nick Allegretti. We need to know what we have with Gabe Meganson, and he's an integral part of this thing.
Yes. I think, I always say with offensive linemen, see, it's funny we're talking about the true freshman being ready, and then we're talking about a redshirt sophomore. Is he ready?
Is he ready? That's how hard it is.
Right. I've talked to Martin O'Donnell about this before. Okay, so he redshirted. He was a 5-star recruit. He was an All-American, high school All-American. He redshirted in 2003. No, let's see. Yeah, 2003. So 2004 he was a freshman. His first year, he felt okay. As a sophomore, with the new scheme, he said he felt completely lost.
Wow.
He said, I was worse, and he's like, I watched my film from that, and I don't even know who that kid is. Beginning of junior year started to click. Senior year, he's first team All-American. First team AP All-American. So it just happens like that sometimes. It does. It's a long journey for offensive linemen. Yes, there are Jeff Allens who come in as a freshman. Hey, kid, get in the Penn State game and start. And he was good for the next, 45
Larry
games.
Boyd looks like that, doesn't
Right, you're right. Larry Boyd gives that same appearance at the same position,
Correct.
So it's hard to say, oh, yeah, Palczewski will be ready, but, Megan's to give him time. It's hard to say those two in the same sentence. But, I think Gabe is getting there. He's looking better, and the hope is next year and the following that he continues that path.
Absolutely.
Let's stay on the offense. Number 18. We got to see him. I don't think you were there, Robert. We got to see him play full contact the other day.
Oh. Yeah.
And it was just so awesome to see.
I bet.
Like his mom was there, and she's like gasping at every time.
Mm-hmm.
But he got hit a couple times midair. He was really high because he can jump real high. I mean, he's fast. He's getting open all the time. He is so valuable.
Yes.
I mean, he is just such a valuable piece, especially when you realize Chase might not have a lot of time back there, and when Dudek really took off was with Riley O'Toole, and Chase reminds me of him.
Yes, very much so, and that's the hope, right? Every team, it's like you and I will discuss the offensive line, and we're like, I'm worried about the right side or this and that. But if we watch Wake Forest game, or we watch something, it's just college football, and it's like that team, and they have that one guy, he's pretty good.
Exactly.
So for national people, it's kind of important to have that one guy who is, nationally relevant, really, really good at his position, known to be counted on. Illinois had that maybe with Juice. They had it with Richard. There have been moments. Corey Legit was known. You got to have that guy, and he's, if healthy, he's definitely that guy. Now,
I noticed the front of the media guys, Jalen Dunlap, this year, they put Dudek on the back.
Yes.
You can tell they wanted to put him on the front to be the face of this team, but they're just not sure yet.
Right. If I would have been at that practice the other night, honestly, I'd be like his mom. I'd probably be hiding my eyes.
No.
Yes. Don't touch him. Yes. It's just... I was the same way in spring practice. So I was there for the practice before he got hurt last year. So he was back after a year off the first ACL. And, he's doing these drills where he's cutting and this and that. And I literally was turning around because he's so valuable.
If
he's healthy. I always think back to the Penn State game where they kicked the field goal to keep the season alive. Then they went and beat Northwestern and went to the Heart of Dallas Bowl. That Penn State game they won. If they don't have Dudek, they lose by 30 in that game.
Agree.
One player can make a game like that, and it's so important to have him healthy.
Robert, can we keep you through another break?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, awesome. I want to talk some defense.
He's got nothing better to do. Where am I going to go?
I want to talk a little recruiting with you.
Okay.
Because I know, I'm diving into these actual recruitments, but to see the fan side of it and what Lovie Smith's doing after Calvin Avery, I'd love to get your take on that. So we'll talk with Robert about that coming up next.
That'll work. If you've got a chance, come out and see us. We are live at Game Day Spirit's new location, 1602 South Neal on the corner of Neal and Kirby across from McDonald's. Today, free promotional T-shirts with any purchase. Not just today, all weekend at Game Day Spirit. They've got specials going on all weekend. Football's coming up. You got to update your Illini stuff. Get out and do it. Say hi to us. It is the Tay and J Show.
Why drive to Key West when you can enjoy the new Tiki Bar and Patio at Daly's Sports Bar, 116 West Washington Street in Philo. With 9 flat-screen TVs and the MLB package, you can take in your favorite team's action live. Daily drink specials Wednesday through Friday evening from 5 to 9 p.m. Enjoy the Daly's Outback Food Wagon on the patio featuring special burgers, sandwiches, shrimp baskets, fried and grilled cod, nachos, tacos, and cheesy fries. Now through August 25th, enter to win a trip to Las Vegas with $100 cash drawings every Friday. There's no purchase necessary to enter and win. Co-sponsored by XL Entertainment, Illinois' most chosen terminal operator. Play slots and win some cash at Daly's, featuring the latest and hottest slots. Come in and play slots, have a blast, some great food and drinks, and hit the jackpot. Be sure and enter for your chance to go to Vegas now through August 25th with $100 cash drawings every Friday at Daily Sports Bar, 116 West Washington in the heart of Philo. Must be 21 or older to play slots. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
An ESPN Radio Mike and Mike Extra Point.
He had command of that offense. The moment wasn't too big for him, and you never know what you're going to get. I thought with Deshaun Watson, you could expect more of a guy, even though it was his first NFL experience, a guy who would be able to handle the moment because he's played in monster games in college and a lot of them. With Trubisky, he hasn't. That's been the knock on him is, yes, he's got the arm. Yeah, he had the completion percentage. Yes, he had a string of completions records as well, but he only had 13 starts. What's he going to do when the NFL lights go on? And you know what? Game one, I'd say he checked the nice box.
I would say this. I'm going to be right. I just went back and found it. My tweet, April 27th. If the Bears believe in Trubisky, this was a great move. Glennon is a bridge. People will crush this move, but I like it. For one day, Greeny has redemption.
Hear more from Mike and Mike Monday morning on ESPN Radio.
Howdy, folks. Colonel Sanders from KFC here with some real news. My delicious, world-famous original recipe fried chicken is available at a KFC near you. It has been and will be until the end of time. No matter what's happening in the world, you can trust that my original recipe chicken is always made with 11 herbs and spices. Many unnamed sources agree. It's delicious. Get it at a KFC $10 chicken share and enjoy it with a friend. KFC, it's still finger-licking good. Limited time offer at participating KFCs. Prices may vary. Tax and substitutions extra.
Guys, get to JCPenney and save big on select items throughout the store. Find great brands like Levi's 502 regular fit jeans for $39.99. Or get 25% off select styles of Nike tees, shorts, shoes, and backpacks. Also, check out our great selection of men's big and tall sizes. And download the JCPenney app for even more savings. Hurry, sale ends Saturday. That's getting your pennies worth. JCPenney. See store at jcp.com for details. Season refers to 8/9 to 8/12.
DP Dough is the original Calzone company, and they cater all types and sizes of events, from office orders to private parties to entire visiting football teams. Everyone will be sure to enjoy something different than the same old sandwiches or pizza. DP Dough also delivers to nearly all of Champaign, Urbana, and Savoy until late at night. So give them a call or order online when you're hungry and no one else is delivering. With over 1 million calzones served since opening in 2006, DP Dough is sure to satisfy and fill you up. DP Dough, the original Calzone company.
Managing your finances has never been easier than now at the U of I Community Credit Union. Hi, it's Lisa Paul, your SJ Broadcasting financial expert. Stop by one of our branches today and open a new Illini Plus checking account. You'll thank yourself later because this benefit-packed account combines savings and security all in one place. With no minimum balance required, Illini Plus checking at the U of I Community Credit Union offers tons of features like ID Protect, cashback member rewards, travel and leisure discounts, and cellular telephone protection. This great account is waiting for you, and it's convenient with over 50,000 surcharge-free ATMs. That's right, 50,000 surcharge-free ATMs. Let us be your financial coaches because no one cheers louder and works harder for the community than the U of I Community Credit Union.
U of I Community Credit Union for campus and community.
Hi, it's Stevie J. Start your day with me along with Diane Ducey, weekday morning 7 to 9 here on ESPN Radio 93.5.
Your four-legged friends need protection too. Pet insurance from Pekin Insurance covers cats and dogs at least 6 weeks of age or older as an enhancement to your homeowner's coverage. Choose between $2,500 or $5,000 worth of coverage for a variety of pet health services. You can even take your pet to the veterinarian of your choice. Learn more at PekinInsurance.com or ask your local agent about how to protect your furry family members. For pet insurance that is beyond the expected, contact Pekin Insurance today.
Hello, I'm Austin Berkland with the 430 Sports Center update presented by State Farm agent John Haywood. At State Farm and Home and Auto Work as a team, you score time and money. Call State Farm agent John Haywood in Champaign, Illinois at 217-367-1105 today. Hey, we get to start with some actual football in the Bears' first preseason game when they took on the Denver Broncos. We start with the quarterbacks. Mike Glennon started the game and it was 2 for 8 with a pick six. Now the real story, Mitchell Trubisky was 18 for 25 with 166 yards and a touchdown. 2016 first-round pick Leonard Floyd got a sack on Northwestern alum Trevor Siemian. Bears fell, though, 24-17. There was a flurry of movement in the NFL today. First was Adam Schefter reporting that former Buckeye and current Dallas Cowboys running back Ezekiel Elliott will be suspended 6 games for violating the domestic abuse policy. He is expected to appeal. The Bills traded Sammy Watkins and a 6th-round pick in next year's draft to the Los Angeles Rams for cornerback E.J. Gaines and a 2018 2nd-round pick. And the most important trade was the Eagles traded wide receiver Jordan Matthews and a 3rd-round pick to the Bills for defensive back Ronald Darby. To the Diamond, the Cardinals swept the Royals 8-6 last night. Another grand slam was hit, and it was by Dexter Fowler. The Birds on the bat are now just a single game behind the Chicago Cubs in the NL Central. The Cards have a weekend series against the Braves tonight. It's Fultonowitz versus Wainwright at 7:15 on 93.5 ESPN-CU. The Cubs continue their West Coast swing with a series against the Diamondbacks. It's Lackey versus Taijuan Walker. Game time is at 8:40 on US 105.9. And Joel Sherman is reporting that Ian Kinsler has been claimed off waivers, but no idea on which team. And that, my friends, is the Sports Center update.
Did you say Ian Kinsler? That's my guy, Jeremy.
Second baseman.
That's my guy. And just what the Cardinals need, right, is another second baseman and or outfielder. It is the Tay and J Show. Lon Tay, Jeremy Warner, Mike Carpenter taking a brief hiatus. He's already been in the game day spirit and purchased a bunch of stuff. Yeah. I'm doing that after the show. I'm going to update my wardrobe. But we are live at Game Day Spirit here on the corner of Neal and Kirby. It's their brand new location.
And they are the exclusive retailer of this year's Hail It to the Orange t-shirt. It's really cool. They got some inside. You can find it at any of the Game Day Spirit locations or order it online at GameDaySpirit.com. As you said, Lon, we're at 602 South Neal Street in Champaign, corner of Kirby and Neal, one of the busiest intersections. That's where we're doing our show today. It's their grand opening location. They have so much great merchandise inside. They got a lot of great deals this weekend.
I just saw a girl drive by and she was singing, and I'm like, she must not be listening to the Tay and J Show. How dare her do that? Robert Rosenthal is our guest, IlliniBoard.com. Follow him on Twitter at Illini. We're talking Illinois football, and Robert, we appreciate you joining us. Another segment here. All right, this is the least important thing, but we talked about it a little bit, and I thought, you know what, I want to bring that up. Who's gonna return kicks and punts for the Fighting Illini this year? I think it's going to be somebody young, right?
One of the freshmen, or maybe a freshman, or maybe one of the freshmen. Yeah, I think, if healthy, your ideal punt returner on the team would be Mikey Dudek, because he has that kind of
elusiveness.
Yes. Yeah. That kind of quickness and everything you want, but I doubt they would risk.
No, they better not. I might go out on the field for that
somebody diving at his knees as he's standing there looking up for a punt. So, so I think Carmani Green is probably the guy. He's kind of my little favorite. I pick favorites here and there, and I really, really like him. And he's that kind of athlete. I think he'd be pretty good. But they have several. I went to a high school game last year. Tony Adams, who's a freshman defensive back, his high school is like 3 minutes from my house. So I had a free Friday night. My wife was out of town. I'm like, let's go to a high school football game by yourself.
Why not, Robert?
What else do you do?
Get some popcorn.
So I watched him. He made a one-handed interception. The game was great. And he's that kind of athlete. Now, he also has the ACL that he's coming back from that he got in the game after I was there. So yeah, I don't know if they'll risk him. So maybe, Mike Epstein could probably do it.
Okay.
One of the, it's probably going to be one of the freshmen. I think Reggie Corbin could do it. I think even Malik Turner could do it. Sometimes punt return is do not
just
fumble.
Grab the ball.
Or, and not even that, don't let it bounce and lose 26 yards because you didn't want to run up and call a fair catch.
Yep.
Sometimes if the freshmen aren't ready for that, they're going to go to the sure-handed senior to say, catch every ball and don't lose us 15 yards.
You don't even have to run with it. Just get down with it.
So they could do something like that if that's the key, because Lovey plays football like that. He doesn't want those mistakes.
Robert, last year the two stats that stuck out the most to me were time of possession and turnover margin. Illinois needs to be winning turnover margin if this team's going to win. So for me, the two words are ball control this year. Run the football and force turnovers. We talked about the offense. I think the identity is going to be more running the football. I think you'll actually see more runs than passes this year if they don't get down too much in games. But defensively, what have you seen out of the identity of this defense, which is going to be very young?
Yeah, I think last year that was the big issue. The offense couldn't stay on the field. Defense couldn't get off the field.
Right.
And so you had this defense starts getting tired, and even though they play well or whatever, So if you can get those turnovers where they have 7 interceptions, it was funny because, right, in the Murray State game, the first 7 minutes, they had 2 interceptions.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, it's fixed.
Here we go.
We have,
We're going to lead the country.
Right.
Early season storylines.
Right.
Are the
7
best.
minutes into the season. And then they had 5 more the rest of the entire
year.
season. So I think you will see interceptions go up. It's the conundrum of any practice is, are the quarterbacks bad and throwing interceptions, or is this defense taking a step forward in the secondary and they're jumping routes?
Good call.
So
Good call.
It could be some of these interceptions at practice are simply, I saw Bennett Williams make a read on a play and take off and make a pick last Friday night that was just like, wow, this kid gets it. He read it. I know where the throw's going. I read the quarterback. I'm going to get that. So I think you will see takeaways. That's how Lovey wants to football. Like he wants to,
without a doubt,
he wants to take the ball away. He wants an offense that can control the clock on the ground, and he wants to be able to, kind of, boa constrictor, squeeze people to death kind of football.
In a one-gap scheme like his, you have to have your responsibilities. Because if one person screws up, the entire thing opens up.
Yes.
And his scheme can really work against passing teams. In the Big Ten West, and this might be a bigger question, but these defensive linemen are more get up the field, disrupt everything.
Yes.
Do you think it'll work this year and in the future?
In the future, yes. This year it'll be interesting. You're right. So like Jake Hansen, say, I think they're starting at will. He's maybe not the biggest athlete or, the number one athlete on the team, but he makes every read correct. And he, Lovey doesn't want mistakes. So I think you're going to see, maybe some of these freshman defensive linemen are the best athletes or ready to go. You might see them go with some of the older guys who understand scheme and understand position and that type of thing.
Fair enough.
Because you're going to, it's that balance, right? You have these great freshmen, like we just said with punt returner.
Exactly.
You have these great freshmen who could do wild and crazy things. But if he's going to fumble 3 times on punt returns, you're going with the senior because you don't want to have that. Same thing with all the gap assignments on defense and everything else. Are these athletes ready? Do they know the scheme well enough? Or are they going to play some of the older guys because they know where to be?
Who are the leaders of this squad? I know we talked about Chase Crouch. He's not exactly the senior on the team, but I could see how he is a guy that they would follow. On the defensive side, you've got a Jalen Dunlap, you've got a Trey Watson, Malik Turner on the offensive side. Who's the guy that's stepping up, you think, in that locker room? Is it Chase?
Yeah, Chase is a leader. I think Nick Allegretti is a big-time leader.
He's really good, too.
Yeah, he's really, really good. He's probably, you and I were talking about that last night, he's probably the best player on the field.
Fair enough.
You had to pick one guy who's ready and experienced and ready to go. It's probably Allegretti. And he's that Joe Spencer-like leader of, handles different events on campus and is part of the community and that type of thing. So I would point to him. You mentioned the other guys, Trey Watson on defense. That's why they're moving him to Mike and say, you're the quarterback of the defense. You're going to lead us. Jalen Dunlap, the senior, that type of thing. So you got to have that if you're going to play with this freshman. Yeah.
Robert Rosenthal's our guest. All right, Robert. What's the over-under in Vegas? 3.5. I'm not asking you.
You can't answer that.
I'm not asking you. Yes. I know he started laughing.
Yes.
If this team just falls right in that, what are some of the things that fans need to watch for this year as the season goes on? Maybe the wins aren't piling up. Obviously, the freshmen you want to see. What are some of the things critical eyes like you, Jeremy, et cetera, are going to be focused on and for fans to at least say, hey, we made progress this year despite 3 or 4 wins?
I think this will be the first year to really see what kind of football they want to play.
Fair enough.
Last year was a kind of a transition. That defensive line was so bought into the bank scheme, and it was a little difficult to switch to this type of a defense. So they were kind of doing some of the stuff they did with the old, trying to transition to the new stuff. With all these freshmen here and everything else, and with Chase Crouch at quarterback, you're going to see this is the kind of football we want to present.
Okay.
It may not be the prettiest at times.
Right.
Freshmen are prone to mistakes, and if these freshmen are playing, there's going to be turnovers, and it's just there's going to be penalties. It's just going to happen. But you'll see the brand of football, and hopefully you'll see takeaways.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully you'll see a defense that starts to Lovey came in preaching defense, run game, control the game, don't let your opponent control the game. Nope. Like Wisconsin basketball, kind of like, we're doing this and we're going to force it upon you. and you're going to have to deal with us. I think you'll begin to see that. Will it result in wins? Will it result in points? A lot of that depends on the opponents and such, but
good call.
I think you'll see that.
We've talked so much about the freshmen, how encouraging this class is. They need 2 more just like it, right? And then I think you'll really start to see this program rise in the Big Ten. Right now they have 12 commitments, but they just got their biggest, Calvin Avery, out of Texas. What do you make of how this staff is recruiting? We were talking a little bit during the break about more athlete-based than player-based.
Yes, athletes. It's so funny because if you look at, Carlos Sandy is 153 pounds soaking wet, So Lovey wants the quickest, smallest, fastest athletes, and he's going to turn them into football players, track kids, that maybe don't look like a football player when you meet them on the street, but he wants to mold them into a football player. And then these massive linemen, who are pushing 340 pounds. So it's, if you're anywhere in the 200 range, you're out.
Forget it.
You got to be 155 or 340. Right. So, it's interesting. It's also interesting. They sell this whole family thing. They sell this whole, it's 40 years of relationship, not 4 years. We're coached for life. And they've landed 3 sets of teammates? Is it? They got 2 from Deerfield Beach. They got 2 from Bishop Dunn, and
2 from I know this. Cardinal Gibbons.
Yeah, Cardinal Gibbons.
Out of Fort Lauderdale.
So they have of the 12, they got 3 sets of teammates.
And they got Miami Central kids last year, Carmani and Owen Carney.
Right. So you start to sell this whole family relationship. Lovey, look at how Lance Briggs and Brian Urlacher and all the Peanuts Hillman, how do they respond to Lovey?
The Loxley Dunbar thing with DC, right?
Yes. So that you sell this whole, and they're chasing that junior kid from Bishop Dunn, the same way.
Receiver. Yep.
Right. So it's it's that kind of brand of recruiting. So I think that kind of thing is working. It worked with Avery, and their 2 best players are high school teammates. So you got to just see them finish like they finished last year. They went out and they found those emerging kids and Kendrick Green and Palczewski and all these other guys, and they're going to have to see it again. Flip a guy like Delshawn Phillips and push and hold off guys for Bobby Roundtree and that type of thing. They just have to finish like that.
We're turning into the late 70s Pittsburgh Pirates is what you're telling me with the We Are Family theme.
Yes.
Is that what we're going to do? Is that what you're saying?
So 16 months after Josh Whitman makes this bold move, how do you feel, Robert?
I still feel fine. I just wrote about this before driving here.
Yeah.
I was listening to the Solid Verbal podcast. Dan and Ty, I don't know if you've ever listened to the podcast. It's just a college football podcast. And they did their Big Ten preview. And they just kind of brushed over Illinois, which is fine. I get it. As they did it. And it was just kind of, the national thing is 3-9 his first year. Picked last this year, over under 3.5 in Vegas. Maybe this whole Lovey thing just, maybe it's, the national take
I've
is
answered
just
so many questions about is he on the hot seat. I'm like, you obviously don't live here. You've never heard Josh Whitman.
Exactly.
You don't understand what he's taking over.
Right. You have to remember what Whitman was part of. What Whitman bought into as a recruit in January of 1997 with Ron Turner taking the job and saying, here's what we're going to do, and here we're going to take these many years and we're going to build it. And Whitman saw that from the winless season as a freshman to, third year Micron PC Bowl, then almost a bowl the 4th year, and then the Sugar Bowl. So there's an AD in place who, in his first move, fired Cubitt and brought in Lovey because he wants to do that again. He wants to build and build and build. So hot seat seems ridiculous to me.
It does.
How will it be nationally? Say they lost to Ball State. Say all this freshman raggedness, and they're starting 9 freshmen on September 2nd, and say they lose to Ball State. You're going to see all kinds of that didn't work.
Right. Right. Next,
dismiss it. Next, this, that. I don't think that's Whitman's thought process, and I don't think that's even fair.
No,
because if you look at where Illinois football has been for 20 plus years, and where it has to go, and you look at the similar rebuilds that got back to somewhere. Look at what Duke did. Look at what Indiana did with Kevin Wilson. That they gave him 5-6 years to really get it rolling. Look at what Colorado just did with Mike McIntyre. That it was, Colorado went 3-9 his 3rd year, and the fans are going crazy. And then he just this slow rebuild. So that's what they're going for.
Yeah.
And that's why they're playing the freshmen, and that's why this looks like it's going to look, and that's where this is all hopefully headed.
I mean, Robert, if they beat Ball State, how many wins do you think they'd have if they beat Ball State? Dang it! I just can't get him on this. He's tough. He's tough on this.
Okay,
Smart.
7-5. I feel it. Yeah.
He wants to watch this team. For
Yes, I want to watch. So if I could go to practice,
You're right,
and watch them,
right, then we'd actually have an answer.
Yes,
Thank
I
you,
could know. Yes,
That is fantastic.
Yes.
Well, Robert, we appreciate you stopping by.
Sure.
Yeah.
Illinois
Anytime.
football, man. It's right around the corner. You'll be here tomorrow. Hopefully,
I will.
So.
Morning practice, so it'll be a little different tomorrow, and that'll be good. So, I have to watch doubly hard because I'm headed back home tomorrow night.
Are they going to be okay in St. Louis now that they're back into baseball? Your hometown around there?
I'm going down tomorrow night. Going down. I'm going to be in your city.
I just want to land the St. Louis recruits. That's
You don't even care about the Cardinals, do you?
You have to understand. So Larry Boyd is a great offensive lineman joining my team, but Larry Boyd is also a St. Louisan saying no to Mizzou.
Good call.
And joining my team.
So he's one of your favorites.
So yes, exactly. You get like 100 bonus points. So yes.
And St. Louis right now, basketball and football blowing up down there with regards to that area.
Yes.
2019, a big year down there.
Yes,
Robert.
yes,
Trinity
absolutely.
Catholic.
Yes. So that's, I think Lovey, when they could do the satellite camps last year, putting one at Trinity Catholic was a very, very good move.
And maybe you'll see Robert at a high school near you.
Yes.
Say, of course, if your wife's out of town, if everything goes well.
Right, if my wife's out of town.
Robert will be there. Robert Rosenthal, IlliniBoard.com. Follow him on Twitter at Illini. Robert, thank you, sir.
Thanks, guys.
Always good stuff. All right, we're back to wrap up Hour 2. It is the Tay and J Show.
Are you looking for a new home or planning to refinance your existing home? Hi, this is Todd Durakan from First Federal Savings Bank of Champaign-Urbana, getting you and your home faster with loan closings in 30 days. Mortgage loans and refinancing that's fast, friendly, and local. We invite you to visit our experienced team of mortgage experts to find out how First Federal Savings Bank can help you with your loan closing in 30 days. For more information, visit 356bank.com. First Federal Savings Bank of Champaign-Urbana. Get what you want out of life. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
From buyers and sellers inspections before the sale, protect your future with AA Marshall Home Inspection Services. We also provide radon testing with results back in 48 hours. From Champaign to Savoy and Gifford to Gibson City, protect your future with AA Marshall Home Inspection Services. Get more details and schedule your inspection today at aamarshall.net.
Urbana's Market at the Square is the place to be on Saturday mornings. You'll find an abundance of Illinois' best produce like squash, apples, peaches, and more. Not to mention delectables, scratch-made baked goods, artisan cheeses, and grass-fed meat. Plus, the market features fresh-cut flowers, arts and crafts, and of course, food trucks. There's only one place in town that has it all. Urbana's Market at the Square. Open Saturdays through November, 7 a.m. to noon, rain or shine at Illinois and Vine in downtown Urbana. UrbanaMarket.org. Ask a friend or coworker to join you with Urbana's food truck rallies taking place the last Tuesday of the month through October at the Urbana Civic Center, 108 East Water in downtown Urbana. Check out the City of Urbana Facebook page with all the details or visit urbanaillinois.us/foodtruck_rally for an updated list of your favorite food trucks that are participating the last Tuesday of the month through October. See you there. Building relationships, supporting the community, and service. These are things Country Financial stands for. More than just an office you may pass by as you drive through town. Neighbors who lend a helping hand and support the fabric of our community, including charitable organizations, sports, financial education, and civic organizations. Chat with your neighbor at Country Financial. Jesse DeHaan. Call 352-3466. Talk about things that are important to you and how Country Financial can help protect them.
Escape to Legends Golf Course in Champaign for your next round of golf. This well-maintained 9-hole course sits nestled off Staley Road in Champaign. Legends hosts a top-quality range and facility to work on your game or an afternoon of family entertainment. Wanting to take your game to the next level? Legends offers club and fittings, PGA certified lessons from Greg Flessner. Legends Golf Course. Take a swing with them off Staley Road in Champaign.
Need an oil change? See your Champaign CarX man. Right now at CarX Tire and Auto, get a full-service oil change starting at $24.99 with tire rotation and brake inspection. From oil changes to engine repair and everything in between, CarX Tire and Auto has been serving Champaign for almost 40 years with 3 convenient locations. Your Champaign CarX man has the right oil for your vehicle at a great price, $24.99. Stop in, call, or schedule online at CarX.com.
Don't worry, call the CarX man.
You're listening to WSJK ESPN 93.5 Tuscola, Champaign-Urbana, your home for the St. Louis Cardinals.
getting a deluge of Harry Black favorites. It is the Tay and J Show. Lonte, Jeremy Warner, Mike Carpenter. We're live at Game Day Spirits, the brand new location, and it is a perfect spot at the corner of Neal and Kirby, right down the way from the State Farm Center and Memorial Stadium, which will be hopping soon. This weekend, they've got a lot of good stuff going on. They're going to give you a free promotional T-shirt with any purchase. Now, there are limited quantities to that, but you make a purchase here, you're probably going to get a free shirt. They have 30% off socks, 25% off jerseys, 30% off Under Armour high school apparel, and everybody's favorite, $5 fidget spinners. Come down to Game Day Spirit. They've got some great stuff, Carp. You just took advantage of it, went inside and bought some stuff, and you found out you're getting old.
Yes, I got a half-zip windbreaker.
Oh, yeah. Only old people like me wear those.
That's a Tim Beckman favorite, right?
Right?
It is. It is.
I love it.
You move from...
Welcome to old age, Carp.
I know.
Welcome. It's
Thank
pretty
you.
cool. It's not bad, is it?
You move from hoodies to windbreakers.
Yeah.
Yes.
The half-zip or the full-zip, doesn't matter. It's going to look good with a pair of
half-zip
shorts.
fan of anything.
I am too.
Yeah, like the half-zip.
Oh, yeah. I like them.
Like the athletic shirts with the half-zip. I'm a big fan of those.
I've always been a fan of those, even when I was young.
And I also got that T-shirt, the promotional T-shirt that comes with it. Just a nice, simple T-shirt.
Sweet.
With the Illinois arch in
Awesome.
the old school varsity lettering.
And we're giving away a Game Day Spirit.
Yes, not one of the Tay and Carp Show shirts, which according to Twitter, some people wouldn't even take it if we offered it.
Well, no, absolutely. And I'm glad they don't want it.
Well, you know what's funny? It's like...
That leaves more for me.
My first thought said no thanks.
My first thought was, we have to offer it first for one to say no thanks. I thought. I don't know.
I asked Jeremy, I said, do we look stupid if we wear our own shirts?
Yes.
I think we do too.
Especially mine that has a face on it.
Right. So my plan is to buy one of Jeremy's and have you sign it, and then I'm going to wear it to all the tailgates.
Cross promotion is the name of the game.
Yes. I think that'd be awesome.
The first band I was ever in, freshman year of high school, we showed up to our first gig at Channing Murray Foundation on campus. And we are all wearing our own band's T-shirt, Sagacity, which on the back it says, Champaign-Urbana's hottest new band.
Oh, yeah. Oh, boy.
Did you have quotes and like some fake thing?
Yeah.
No.
According to USA Today.
According to the Daily Illini. No, but we all wore that, and then the other bands on the bill, they immediately hated us.
Oh, of course.
And they had no reason to. We weren't threatening. We weren't any good.
They should have just looked at you in those shirts and thought, all right,
no,
they're not a
definitely
concern.
we're not the hottest band.
They're not a concern.
But we do have a game day wheel of games that we're about to do.
Sweet.
And the prize today, as we head in the weekend, and any golfers out there, it's going to be a beautiful weekend for that, a golf towel.
Oh,
it is
nice.
a blue Illinois golf towel. And we'll do the text line thing like we normally do with 359-2255, 359-2255. But the question is not trivia. You just need to go to our YouTube stream and text in the color of Austin's shirt.
Ooh. People are just guessing right now, random. I'd have a good guess.
Austin should be sitting at the control board.
Yep.
He's got slick back hair today? I don't know.
He's been doing that. I'm
He's
trying to grow the top of my hair
He was
out
going
too.
to the,
so I can do that.
yeah, you are. He was going to the concert last week, so he came in looking dandy.
What concert?
I was here at the Champaign County Fair.
The country guy.
Yeah, the country.
Chris Young.
Chris Young.
So go to our YouTube page, Tay and J Show. You can just search that in your Google and see what Austin shirt is wearing. And you'll win what, Carp?
A blue Illinois golf towel.
Those are
It's got
sweet.
the official logo and lettering on it. Very nice thing to have for any golf rounds.
Very nice.
Speaking of Illinois golf, D.A. Points tied for 12th at the PGA Championship. He's 1 under, and he's in the clubhouse right now. The top of the leaderboard, Kevin Kisner is 8 under par. Matsuyama is 6 under par.
Okay.
He's still on the course. Jason Day, 5 under. He's at the turn. Louis Oosthuizen is at 4 under par. Stroud at 4 under. And Jason Day, obviously a big name. Ricky Fowler as well. He's 3 under par and at 6.
That's my guy this week.
Jordan Spieth trying to get his career Grand Slam. He is tied for 44th at 3 over. So he's got a lot of ground to make up, and he's got to make the cut as well.
Yes.
So he's got a lot of work to do. Mike Small, not so good. 17 over in the clubhouse, but I mean, what do we expect out of Mike this week? I mean, at a PGA major event, and he doesn't golf all day.
No, he doesn't. That's the thing. These guys are out there 7 days a week working on their game, and Mike Small doesn't get that opportunity.
Thomas Peters, by the way, 1 under today, but he had a 79 yesterday.
Yeah.
So he's still 7 over.
That's tough. You know the other day what I did, which was so strange? So I'm looking in the News Gazette, and I'm looking at the scores, because Thomas Peters, this was last week at that, was it, Canadian Bell or whatever. I wanted to see where he was in the standings of that golf tournament, and I happened to notice the LPGA scores, and I think they had a major going. Has there been any sport that has died quicker than the open? Does anybody pay attention to that?
Well, you had Annika Sorenstam
Right, you had
dominating while Tiger was dominating.
Right.
So you kind of looked at her as like the female version of Tiger.
You totally did. I mean, you got Natalie Bulbus now. You've got some of these, but when you look at it, and I mean this in all fairness.
I mean, Michelle Wee was a big thing.
Right.
A little bit.
You just don't really have the big names up there, and so maybe there obviously will be. Or,
I think you need an American. Because, I mean, look what Serena Williams does right now for tennis in this country.
And if you look at the top 10, a lot of times you don't see one. Right. And I think that's why maybe it just appears or feels like it's something. But it was weird. Like, I hadn't checked an LPGA scoreboard in so many years. And I was like, wow, I've kind of forgot about the LPGA.
You also had trades in the NFL today.
Yeah.
I mean, the Ezekiel Elliott thing, if you guys want to hear that, just go to a national
don't.
show. I mean, they've been talking about it all day.
He could be out 6 games.
On our station.
Not because of an injury.
Yeah, so Sammy Watkins gets traded to the L.A. Rams.
Yep.
So Jared Goff gets another weapon, and the Bills trade him. They get a second-round pick.
Right.
So right now they have 2 first-round picks, 2 second-round picks, and 2 thirds. They also traded for Jordan Matthews from the Eagles. Seems like Nelson Aguilar has taken that position. But what do you make of that deal on the surface?
I think it's beautiful for Buffalo.
I love it.
Sammy Watkins was a kid that came in with a lot of ballyhoo. I mean, everybody thought he was just going to tear up the league, and he hasn't done anything.
Injuries, big part of it.
Injuries were bad, but he really has kind of disappointed there. So Buffalo, I think, in my mind or in their mind, said, all right, he still has something. Let's get something for him while we can, and I think that's a great move. And like you said, now they're stockpiling some picks that team needs to get better. They need to get relevant again.
It's like a rebuilding team in baseball. Sammy Watkins was not the difference of that team making the playoffs.
That's exactly right.
And how good is he after those injuries? Right? It's kind of like Kevin White.
Yep.
Now, Kevin White, if he gets you a second-round pick, I'm probably doing that deal right now.
Yes.
Because he's not going to be the difference for us making the playoffs. But for the Rams, they want to give Goff some kind of weapon because he doesn't have much at all around there. And how good is Goff?
Right.
We haven't seen anything
Look
yet.
at that NFC West, right? Just yuck. With the Rams
outside of Seattle,
and with the Niners and the Cardinals. I mean, they're going to be tough to beat each week. I mean, they'll be in games, and you got Seattle, but otherwise you're just like, ugh.
So,
I don't know.
So the football side of it was Zeke Elliott out. How big of a deal is that for the
big
NFC?
deal? Not a big deal.
Yeah.
I think that's a huge deal for the Cowboys. With what he did, and then Dak Prescott obviously had this breakout year.
We'll see how good Dak is.
That's kind of that's kind of where I'm going here. It'll be interesting knowing they don't have one of the better running backs in the league. If he's out for those 6 games, how do defenses change now against Dak Prescott when they were going to change anyway?
Still have a great offensive line.
Yes, they
do.
do.
The best offensive line in
do.
football, right?
But I think that's big. I mean, he and Dak Prescott and that entire Cowboys team, that was the story last year for the majority of the season. So I think it's big. With if Zeke is out for those 6 games, I think that could be big. And of course, is anybody going to beat the Patriots?
Right.
With a 40-year-old quarterback?
It's kind of interesting with baseball. The National League and the AFC are very similar, right?
It
feels like we know who the top teams are and who can actually contend for a championship. The NFC and the American League, way more wide open.
Absolutely. No, I totally agree. I just had a car go through a red. I don't know. This is too much of a squirrel factor for me here at the corner of Neil and Kirby. I've done pretty well for 2 hours.
Yeah, you have.
But I feel like they just blew a red light and just said, I'm going.
Yeah.
Have you ever done that?
Well, I actually did 2 days ago.
Right on Windsor, right outside of a radio station. Sometimes it won't trigger.
Campus in the summer, they move all their stoplights to this 4-way blinking red light, and only this week they switch back to the normal one. So this corner, I was used to just going right through. Whoops.
Boom.
Have you guys ever gotten a ticket for turning on a red light? Turning right on a red?
No.
I got that up in Chicago a couple weeks ago. $100.
Oh, yeah, their tickets are very expensive.
So it just said no turn on red, obviously.
Well, I must have, and I didn't know where I was. I was in Lombard. $100.
And they gave you a ticket?
Yeah,
See, my brother laughs about Chicago policemen. He's like, they have so many other things to do. They're not worried about your little turning red on red.
Friday 5 and 5 coming up next.
That's crazy. It is the Tay and J Show.
The same people you trust after a fire or water disaster will also keep your house clean year-round. That's because the specialists at ServPro of Champaign-Urbana and South Champaign County are trained in every category of cleaning, from mold remediation to the cleaning of carpets, upholstery, air ducts, and crawl spaces. They're here to help protect every square foot of your most valuable possessions. ServPro of Champaign-Urbana and South Champaign County, or visit them at servproofchampaignurbana.com. That's the bright green cleanup team at ServPro of Champaign-Urbana and South Champaign County. Franchises are independently owned and operated.
We alarm our houses, and we alarm our cars. But when it comes to your personal information, it can be tough to know when something isn't right. That's where Discover Card can help. Now, we'll send you an alert if we find your social security number on any one of thousands of risky websites. And this service is free for card members. Just sign up online. It's our way of looking out for you, not just your account. Learn more at discover.com/free alerts. Limitations apply.
Oh my goodness, I am tired of being known only as the guy who turns into a werewolf at the full moon. There's more to me than that. Just like Geico. Sure, they could save you money, but Geico also has a 97% customer satisfaction rating. So you know people love them. And yeah, I become a man-beast once a month, but I become the world's greatest crepe chef every single Saturday morning.
Geico. Expect great savings and a whole lot more.
Hey, this is Brad with Kramer Siding and Window Company. And did you know for over 60 years now, we've been providing worry-free home improvements at a great value. Maybe you've thought about getting that roof replaced? We can do a complete roof tear-off for as little as $140 a month. Or maybe replace some of that siding with our premium insulated vinyl siding for as little as $165 a month. If you've thought about either a roof or siding, call us right now at Kramer Siding and Window Company.
With 60 years of experience, you can trust Kramer Siding will be here for you today and tomorrow. Right now, save 30% on preservation windows, siding, and doors, 10% on roofing and sunrooms. Plus, save 15% on gutter helmet and never clean your gutters again. Give us a call today at 355-2727. Visit our showroom or on the web at kramersiding.com.
Kramer Siding and Window. You got a friend in the business.
Check out the new BMW of Champaign. It's not like the old Twin City. They have new on-site local ownership since 2013, along with a new state-of-the-art facility. With a Customer First Service Award winner for 2015, BMW of Champaign does business your way. Yes, they have tons of cars. Yes, they'll get you what you want. Yes, they discount, deal, and even pick up and deliver. So stop in, ask for Ben, and give BMW of Champaign a look. BMW of Champaign at the corner of Neal and Burwash in Savoy. You're listening to WSJK ESPN 93.5 Tuscola, Champaign-Urbana, your home for the St. Louis Cardinals.
He's not backing down with another warning for North Korean leader Kim Jong-un. Fox's Jill Nato is live in D.C.
President Trump telling North Korea the U.S. military is locked and loaded and ready to respond if Kim Jong-un carries out an attack against the U.S. or its allies.
He will truly regret it. And he will regret it fast.
The president at Trump National Golf Club in New Jersey asked about critics who say his rhetoric is making things worse. He says they're only saying that because it's him.
If somebody else uttered the exact same words that I uttered, they'd say, what a great statement, what a wonderful statement.
Meanwhile, a North Korean government official is saying we consider the U.S. no more than a lump which we can beat to a jelly at any time. Lisa?
Jill, this as the U.S. Pacific Command tweeting bombers are ready if needed.
These are supersonic B-1 bombers. They carry the largest conventional payload of any bomber in the Air Force. There are currently 6 of these B-1 bombers on the island of Guam. But it's noteworthy that there are no U.S. Navy aircraft carriers or Marine Expeditionary units off the coast of Korea right now.
Fox's Lucas Tomlinson, the Pentagon. Meantime, the administration reportedly has quietly engaged in back-channel diplomacy with Pyongyang for several months. The Taylor Swift defamation trial done for the day as the judge considers a motion by the pop star to have the case thrown out. Earlier, the panel heard from the singer's bodyguard.
Greg Dent testified he saw the DJ she accuses of groping her reach under the singer's skirt during a 2013 pre-concert meet and greet photo session. The singer testified yesterday saying David Mueller, quote, stayed attached to my bare cheek as I lurched away from him.
Fox's Michelle Polino, Fox News, fair and balanced.
every gun owner, pulling the trigger in lawful self-defense is the absolute last resort. None of us want to do it, but what if you have to? Have you considered the serious financial and legal consequences that could come from just doing what you had to do to save your life or the life of a loved one? I'm Dana Lash with the NRA. I carry my firearm every day. But the truth is, right behind your firearm, your second most important self-defense protection is a rock-solid carry policy. That's why I believe in NRA Carry Guard. It's the most comprehensive coverage and training for those who carry, developed by the only brand gun owners can trust to have their backs, no matter what. NRA Carry Guard members can choose up to $1 million in insurance-backed protection, plus 24/7 access to a first response crisis management team, an online video library, and much more. Learn more and sign up today at NRAcarry.com or call 1-866-NRA-1234 to become an NRA Carry Guard member right now.
European lawmakers trying a new strategy on health care reform.
Republican Congressman Jim Jordan says the conservative House Freedom Caucus has launched a petition to force a floor vote on a clean Obamacare repeal bill.
It's the same exact legislation we passed 18 months ago. We all voted for. The Senate all voted for. We want to bring this to the floor.
President Trump has raised the possibility of Senate GOP leader Mitch McConnell resigning if he fails to get his agenda through the Senate, including repealing and replacing Obamacare. The president telling reporters he's disappointed with a lack of progress on that and on tax reform. In Washington, Rachel Sutherland, Fox News.
The Los Angeles City Council unanimously passing a memorandum of understanding and a host city contract to make it the host city for the 2028 Summer Olympics.
What the Olympics means to us and to this city is what every human being yearns for.
Mayor Eric Garcetti, the last time L.A. hosted the Summer Games was in 1984. A thunderstorm in New Orleans and the rain adding to concerns as parts of the city continue to deal with malfunctioning drainage pumps.
Certain neighborhoods in New Orleans have been ravaged by flooding caused by failed drainage pump equipment damaged by fire. And while repairs are said to have been successful, Mayor Mitch Landrieu says this isn't over.
We remain at risk, I believe, if a major storm comes until we get additional turbines back up, which we expect by the end of this month.
The city has also been making use of generators to operate the pumps. Meanwhile, residents in many areas west of the Industrial Canal are warned to prepare to mitigate flood damage in the event of heavy rain. Eben Brown, Fox News.
There won't be any pictures of dogs playing poker, but Arena in New York City hosting a 3-day art exhibition especially for dogs. The exhibit, called Dogumenta, is at dog's eye level, and one exhibit features an elaborate display of dog biscuits and other treats the dogs are allowed to eat. Lisa Lacera, Fox News Radio.
Here's your ESPN Radio 3-day forecast from the National Weather Service, brought to you by Chief Bauer. Trust the heating and cooling experts at Chief Bauer Service Experts to help keep you comfortable all year long. That's 866-EXPERTS, or visit online at chiefbauer.com.
Thank
you. Oh. 59 the low tonight.
.com.
There he is.
Oh, I was going slow there, wasn't I? .com.
Boy, one more time, can we do barbershop?
Yeah, because this is it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Or visit them online at chiefbauer.com. That's all right. That's an okay update.
The Tay and J was better.
Tay and
J. Low 59 tonight, 80 and sunny, both on Saturday and Sunday with lows around 60. A gorgeous weekend. Get outside and have some fun. Right now it is 82, breezy at the corner of Neal and Kirby. Game day spirit, ESPN 93.5.
It is Drive Time, presented by Honda BMW of Champaign. For new and used vehicles, visit their huge inventory at the corner of Neal and Burwash in Savoy. That's not very far from where we are.
No.
Or visit them online at drivechampaign.com. Lante and Mike Carpenter, those will recap the first 2 hours of the Tay and J Show.
And Jeremy Warner, I have no idea what we started with.
Mitchapalooza.
That's what it was. That's why I forgot.
Mitch Trubisky, ladies and gentlemen. Hall of Famer,
How about
franchise quarterback. Super Bowls are on the way.
Duh, sausages. Well, listen, let's be honest. It gives you guys as Bear fans some excitement to know you got a quarterback maybe in town.
I mean, this is the first test, right?
Yep.
It's the first exam of the semester, right? It doesn't mean you're going to get an A for the rest of your life in school. But he passed the test with flying colors. He got an A for what he did last night against a third-string defense in Denver. But he looked the part, Carp. You can see the tools that are there. The most important one to me is accuracy. I think that's the most important thing. But also the poise that you're looking for out of a quarterback. It was great to see. And I think I was so hopeful when they drafted him. I was so interested. I love that Ryan Pace put his career on the line for this guy. And you can see why. You can see why. And I think a lot of Bears fans are like, that hated the move, hated trading up for him, hated drafting him as the quarterback. They see, this guy's got the tools. Maybe he's got the poise. Maybe we have something here that gives me hope that we can compete for a long time.
You mentioned in the first segment Mike Glennon and how he looks out there, and it's the prototypical
he looks
backup.
Like a backup.
Oh, he does. Just a gangly,
long
tall
neck
man.
And all.
Which, by the way, Paxton Lynch kind of looked like him last night, too.
Yeah, that's true. But Mitch Trubisky, what is this worth? I don't know.
Yeah.
But he does look and act the part. And there is this sort of, hard to define moxie that he had on the field last night. And yes, it is a second, third string defense that he did it against. Not anything to think that he's going to be an all-pro quarterback until proven otherwise. But at the very least, going into this season, the Bears were not going to win many games no matter who the quarterback was. And for me, an entertainment standpoint, an interest standpoint, I don't want to say you need Mitch Trubisky for me to tune in, but you kind of do. And I don't think I'm alone, and I know Jeremy's on the same boat.
Well, what's the thing we want? If our teams are bad at whatever sport, we want hope.
Yes.
Right? Last year, you watched that Bears team, and you're like, what am I hopeful for?
Jamal Adams, Solomon Thomas are not giving me hope.
No. Now Mitch Trubisky's here. At least in the back of your mind, in the perfect world, you can picture him becoming a all-pro quarterback.
And yeah, Carp, I probably think, when a Bears take a quarterback, you think, it's going to bust. It's going to be terrible because that's what's happened in our lives. But Ryan Pace doesn't care about that.
No.
He's saying, I need the quarterback. Without the quarterback, it doesn't matter. And at least for one night, it looks hopeful. We'll see the next time around. We'll see when the games actually happen. But I don't mind people talking about a quarterback controversy because he looks the part. And Mike Glennon has been a career backup for a reason. So at some point this season, it's going to be Trubisky's time.
Law of averages says sometime the Bears are going to get the quarterback thing right. Sometime.
You would think, right?
And what makes this even more intriguing is that as a Bears fan, not once in my life have I ever went into a game where I'm thinking my quarterback is certified, like he's the guy that's going to lead us to victory. Jay Cutler had his moments, and you knew that he was capable of it, but you always had that worrisome feeling that he might screw this up.
The defense has to score at some point for our team to win.
Yeah, exactly. Devin Hester has to have a return, and if he does, we have a pretty good shot. I would love to get to a point where all of a sudden, like a Packers fan has been able to enjoy for 25 years, that you wake up on Sunday, and no matter who you're playing, you feel like, we got a shot. You know why? Because we have a really good quarterback out there. And that would be a new feeling for a Bears fan. Jordan Howard last year, that was cool, but the Bears have been awful so many times, yet had the good running back. I've seen it.
Right.
I need something new.
Austin, give me a little pot up. And now pot it down because I'm going to talk about the red-hot St. Louis Cardinals. Yeah, baby! Cardinals have won 6 in a row, now a game behind the Chicago Cubs.
How about that?
Going into if nothing else, it's got this guy excited as August and September
roll around.
I'm going to a game. I'm bandwagoning this thing ridiculously. But yes, it's been fun baseball. They're scoring runs. They've got their pitching staff that has still actually had a shaky week, and the offense bailed them out, which has been the exact opposite all season. Now you've got the Cubs in Arizona for 3, Cardinals at home against the Braves for 3. Who knows what could happen at the end of this? There's a long time to go in this one, Jeremy, though, and the one thing is that I like, the Cubs and Cardinals are going to play each other 7 times before the season's out, including 4 the very last week of the season. Why not have some fun and have those two teams
Cardinals
battle?
just creeping behind the Cubs, providing a little pressure.
Just clawing their way.
As I said in the first hour, though, they got to continue it. They got to sustain this because the Cubs are talented. And I know Wilson Contreras might not be back until mid-September or late in September. But, I mean, that Cubs, they should bounce back.
No doubt.
This is going to be a team that bounces back, and their schedule really lightens up outside of their NL Central foes. So I think the Cubs are going to bounce back here. That means the Cardinals have to sustain this type of run. But, boy, it makes for a fun August and September.
It does. And, Carp, I think the one thing, if you're a Cardinals fan, you know Chicago. You know what they're going to do. You know they've got the talent. They're too talented to stay in a 2-for-6 spiral. They're going to win at a certain level the rest of the season. If you're the Cardinals, like Jeremy said, you've got to sustain that, not let yourself get into a 2 or 3 game run.
But you may only need 600 ball. I mean, I think that'd probably do it, because the Cubs, yes, they had to run up the All-Star break, but that was the aberration.
No
with
doubt.
what they've been all season, which is just over 500 otherwise. And, if you're a Cardinals fan, this is a new role.
Right.
Playing the up-and-coming, the underdog, the scrappy team that could, because for so many years, you could pencil them in, division winners.
No doubt.
You're the champ, right? And then the Cubs in 2015 were the scrappy, young, fun team. Not that the Cardinals are pretty young at this point, but yeah, it's different to be in that role for this.
Austin, pop me up, kid. We are live, by the way, at Game Day Spirit here on their new location at 1602 South Neal and Kirby, right on the corner here. Just a great location, great store. And Jeremy, I know they have been a big fan of ours, not fan, but supporter of our show for so many years.
And they gave us gifts today.
How cool is that?
Yeah, they gave me a shirt with my face on it.
I gotta have one of those.
I don't know if that's great. It has the Jeremy Werner Show on it. Which starts August 21st.
August 21st.
9 to 11 a.m.
Nice.
And then the Tay and Carp Show.
That's awesome.
Logo on an orange shirt. It's really cool. We appreciate those
We have
guys.
determined that because of that, we cannot wear our own shirts.
No.
That would be way too creepy. But we can each wear the other shirt.
A little egotistical, too.
A little bit. Just a little bit. All right, Austin is his name. Pop me back up.
We also talked a lot of Illini football. Robert Rosenthal was here in the 4 o'clock hour. I always love nerding out with him on Illini football because, we're there watching it so much during training camp, and great to get somebody else's opinion on here that's been out there so much and has so much enthusiasm for it. But we talked to you guys about, the freshman who's going to make the biggest impact. What's your biggest worry? What's your biggest concern about this team? But at the end of the day, the good thing about this team is that it's young.
Yes.
And just like Trubisky, I think this is a year of eye test.
There's some hope.
And it's a year of hope.
Right.
Last year was an old team with a coach that didn't recruit this roster. At least some of this roster he recruited, and it's talent.
Without a doubt.
There's some talent in that freshman class. So this is more like next year for the White Sox, right? You get to see some of these young guys come up. It's more about hope in the future.
And I told you that there are a lot of units that I'm worried about. The biggest one, though, is not offensive line for me, Carp. It's the defensive line, and it's only because I just worry what these other teams in the West and in college football in general are going to do to Illinois. They're going to line up with 6 or 7 big boys, and they're going to run it down our throats. Can Illinois stop that? It's been a while since they have. Can they do it? And that's why I put defensive line as my biggest concern.
The offensive line, no matter what year it is, I always kind of look at it as, well, they'll either figure it out or they won't.
Or they won't.
I like
that.
You just kind of throw it, you say, well, you shrug and say, well, what are you going to do? Either they're going to be good enough and they aren't going to have injuries and they'll keep you in games, or they won't. With a defensive line, I would agree that the most frustrating thing that you could ever see going to Memorial Stadium or watching an away game on a Saturday is the inability to get off the field. And we've seen it. That and
200-yard running backs,
or 3rd and 8s where you can't get the quarterback and he gets 8 seconds to make a play.
Exactly.
And that is so deflating, especially for a young team. If they're going to have a shot to spring an upset or two, that defensive line is going to have to be serviceable.
Right.
Maybe they can be that. Defensive tackles are pretty good. Sadly, you can't put 4 defensive tackles on the field at the same time. You got to get to the quarterback.
And on the flip side, I'm excited about the wide receiver crew. Carp, you were excited about the running back crew.
And I'm excited about receivers too.
Yeah,
I just hope they can get it.
Absolutely.
And that comes down to Chase Crouch.
It does come down. And then, of course, Jeremy, who did you pick?
I took the linebackers. I think are really, really good. I think the big questions are quarterback about Chase Crouch, and my biggest thing, stay healthy. I still think he's going to improve this offense. He's going to be tougher for defenses to account for because he can run the football. And I think in a camp setting, you don't get to see that as much than when they actually strap it up and tackle people. I think this is a team with a lot of holes, but I do think there's some exciting things happening. It's just a rebuild year. That's Drive Time presented by Honda BMW of Champaign. For new and used vehicles, visit their huge inventory at the corner of Neal and Burwash and Savoy, or visit them online at drivechampaign.com.
All right, Austin Berkland, I need you to do some looking. In front of you on that screen to the right, there is that list song. I've got a list.
Whoa!
But it's really not. This is just unprovoked, and I just thought of this. So, Austin, if you can pot down the drive time music, and if you can hit the, what does it say?
TJ list.
TJ list.
Oh, there we go.
He's got it. All right.
He's got a list. Jeremy has got a list. He's got a list. Jeremy has got a list. 'Cause we love to go through lists just to mess with the law.
Jeremy. Mike. I called you Mike. That's fine. All right, I'm not going to scat. Gonna do it? It's really not a list because I don't have anything in front of me, but as you were talking about the Bears quarterbacks,
yes,
I just want each of you to rip off as many Bears quarterbacks as you can remember in your
starting
day.
Starting quarterbacks
Right. For the Bears.
In our lifetime, Carp, I remember Jim Harbaugh starting.
Okay.
Was Mike Tomczak involved in there, too?
Good call.
Jack Trudeau?
Was he?
Was Trudeau? I thought he was Colt.
No, you're right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Eric Kramer.
Mm-hmm.
Eric Kramer.
Shane Matthews.
Wow, yes.
Jim Miller.
Jim Miller. That's who I was thinking
Steve Stenstrom in there.
I don't know. Is that midnight?
That sounds like a Bears starting quarterback. Cade McNown.
Yep.
Moses Moreno.
Oh, my goodness.
How about Patrick Quinn?
Jonathan Quinn.
Jonathan Quinn.
Who can forget Rick Meyer?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yep. He had one good year.
I don't think so.
Who was the kid that came in?
We traded a first-round pick for him.
Who was the kid that came in instead of Cutler? Or you were at the game, NFC Championship?
Oh,
just a playoff, right?
Caleb Haney.
David Fales, but he never started.
I think he might have started a game.
I was actually at the Henry Burris
Rex
game.
Grossman and Kyle Orton, the legend.
Kyle Orton, the bearded one.
Kyle Orton.
Vince Evans is too old for you kids, right?
Yeah.
Jason Campbell.
Jason
Campbell. That's right.
God, he was a Bears
Remember, because that was a
quarterback.
reaction to Caleb Haney being the backup. It's like we got to get a
The
good
news
backup
is we've
quarterback.
got Jason Campbell or whatever his name is.
This is we're doing pretty well here.
You
Carter.
are.
There's got to be a couple of obscure ones.
Well, Jimmy Clausen.
Chad Hutchison.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. He started a Thanksgiving game in Dallas, Chad Hutchinson.
I think he played for the Cardinals, didn't he? Baseball?
Who was your favorite obscure? Shane Matthews.
Shane Matthews is fun.
Dunk, man.
Yep. No, I like Shane Matthews. He was the quarterback in both of those overtime wins, the 13-3 season.
Nice.
Dinked and dunked all over the field.
He never. I don't know if he ever played, but Dan Lefevre, they drafted.
And you know what? I'm going to go Jim Miller's my favorite because the year they were down here, the first game was against Minnesota. And Jim Miller led the team on a comeback drive, and David Terrell got the game-winning catch.
Nice.
And you're thinking, great, we're going to the playoffs
1-0 in
again.
Champaign.
And then he went 3-13 the rest of the way. 3-12. Sorry.
I always love Kyle Orton because that don't care attitude that Jay Cutler kind of had, but Kyle was more of the traditional leader kind of thing. But Rex Grossman had a screw it quality.
He did.
That was always kind of endearing.
He totally did.
I mean, he was terrible at times, but
he had a few good
at least he was an
games.
NFL quarterback.
Yeah. I mean, think about how he started that year that they went to the Super Bowl. Those first 8 games, he was basically a Pro Bowl quarterback.
Right.
And then teams figured it out. And then the Arizona game happened.
Yep.
And then he figured out you could still win even if you had a bottom 4 quarterback in the league.
Okay,
was really
we
good.
forgot a guy who was really good. Josh McCown.
Oh.
Yeah, that's
he
a
was
good
great.
game.
Todd Collins was a starter for
he
games.
was so
bad. He was decent with the Giants.
Brian Greasy.
Yeah.
Oh, man, 2003. How could we forget this, Carp? Cordell Stewart.
Oh, yeah. He started the first game at renovated Soldier Field.
Chris Chandler.
Yeah.
Started 6 games.
Chris Chandler was with everybody.
Craig Krenzel. The Krenzel Awards. He started 5 games for the Bears.
That's fantastic. Man, you guys have had some...
Dave Craig. Steve Walsh.
Yes.
Yeah.
Peter Tom Willis.
This is all in your lifetime.
This is all in our lifetime. Oh, since 93.
Yeah. Wow. Since 2009.
The only team with more quarterbacks in that time, I think, has been the Browns.
Oh,
that or the Cardinals.
And, of course, last year, Brian Hoyer, Matt Barkley.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. That's a lot of quarterbacks.
Man, you guys.
That's a lot of bad.
Remember Matt Barkley almost beat Green Bay at home?
Yeah. Well, he'd throw 4 interceptions, then he'd throw 4 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Get back into it.
And then Aaron Rodgers.
I'm going to look you two in the eye right now and just say that I hope Mitch Trubisky works for you.
Oh,
because you deserve it after reading through that list.
You kind of had
believe me.
A good list, too.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Is Jake Plummer better than every quarterback I just named?
Probably. Other than Jay Cutler.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Would you take Jay Cutler or
Similar.
Jay Plummer? Yeah.
And
similar.
The snake,
I'd probably take Cutler.
The snake was quick. He had to be because that offensive line was never good. Never good.
Would you rather have Cutler or Carson Palmer?
I'd rather have Palmer.
Yeah, more reliable. Well, when he's not injured.
Less risk.
But Jay Cutler gets
less
injured.
risk. I think he doesn't make the huge. He has done it, but he doesn't make the huge turnover. All right,
good
we
list,
have
good list.
Yeah, that was solid. We have a 5 at 5 a little bit later in the show. And not only is it a 5 at 5 that all of our listeners have heard for years, this is our final 5 at 5, and this kind of takes a look back at the Tay and J Show, doesn't it?
It is nostalgic, reflective.
Wow.
Looking back on, and the thing is, the earliest 5 at 5, I told you guys in the first hour, that
12.
I found on the computer was August 31. Are we? We're going to have to clap?
Not yet.
Not yet, because we got another break before we do the 5 at 5.
We would have started this back, it had to have been summer 2011, if not that spring.
Yes.
Pretty early in the show.
Yes.
Because there was an idea to get something other than sports involved.
Yep.
And
we should stick to sports.
Most of the time. But
so
this is going to be bittersweet, obviously. But
yes,
for this one,
be.
I gave you guys 5 questions based on the history of the Tay and J Show.
Deep down, let me ask you one question, then we're going to go to a break.
Yeah.
Deep down, are you glad that you don't have to search for 5 questions again every week?
You know, it depended on the Friday.
Carp was the star of the 5 at 5.
Well, there's no doubt.
I don't know about all that.
But no, you can't be. Don't be kissing up right now. I see what you're doing.
No, I mean, it
I hear what you were saying.
He made or break. He make or break it.
You do,
right? Because Lon and I could have fun with it and have some fun answers, but without the right questions, you don't get the right answers.
No, I think depending on the Friday, depending on if there were other things that I had to do, and I'm thinking, oh god, I got to get a 5 at 5. Sometimes you get in a rut. I usually would have one question based on today is National Hopscotch Day.
Right. And a song, so that always helps.
And a music thing, which
That's
that became a regular.
of it.
There is no music component to this.
Okay.
Well, is there? No, there's not.
No.
But this will be fun and a little bit more.
What do you think, Jeremy? Better commissioner than David Stern?
Well, I hope. Well, he was pretty good.
No, Stern over him.
Better than Bud Selig?
I'll go over for your boy, Bud Selig.
Okay, or what about Gary Bettman?
Yeah, oh, yeah. Okay. Nobody's booed you. I don't think.
Well, do trolls count?
Well, that's true. People have. No, I'll put you still above Bettman.
Okay.
All right, we are live at Game Day Spirit. We're going to be here until 6 o'clock, 1602 South Neal, in the corner of Neal and Kirby. It's our brand new location. Come join us. It is the Tay and J Show.
There's a rap?
Take advantage of a great summer special for braces at Illini Smiles Dental Care on Springfield Avenue in Champaign and at Angel Smiles Dental Center in Rantoul. Schedule an appointment today for a free consultation for braces with our orthodontic experts. Illini Smiles and Angel Smiles will present an individualized treatment plan based on your personal needs to give you the care that you deserve. Not only does Illini Smiles and Angel Smiles take your insurance, they're also in network with many PPO plans, which means lower costs for you. Plus, save up to $600 off orthodontic services if you start your treatment before September 1st. Don't need braces? Schedule a back-to-school checkup for just $50, which includes a school exam and x-rays. In Champaign, call Illini Smiles Dental Care at 356-3335. Or in Rantoul, call Angel Smiles Dental Center at 892-8868. Angel Smiles in Rantoul also takes the medical card for most dental services for children 21 years and younger. Take advantage of these 2 great specials. Save up to $600 off braces if you start before September 1st. Or a back-to-school exam and x-rays for just $50 at Illini Smiles Dental Care and Angel Smiles Dental Center.
This fall, tune into Q96 for JT Walker's High School Sports Showcase. Each Friday night, Justin Taylor will be on the call for the best area high school football matchups, featuring Centennial, Central, Urbana, Mahomet Seymour, St. Joseph Ogden, Unity, Monticello, and St. Thomas More. This season of JT Walker's High School Sports Showcase is also brought to you by Carl Sports Medicine, Country Financial Agent Jesse DeHaan, Alani Mattress, Long's Garage, Rook Doctors, and Tapman's Towing. JT Walker's High School Sports Showcase, Friday nights this fall on Q96.
We alarm our houses, and we alarm our cars. But when it comes to your personal information, it can be tough to know when something isn't right. That's where Discover Card can help. Now, we'll send you an alert if we find your social security number on any one of thousands of risky websites. And this service is free for card members. Just sign up online. It's our way of looking out for you, not just your account. Learn more at discover.com/free alerts. Limitations apply.
ESPN Radio Sports Beat. From Charlotte, here's Dari Noka.
I've said 85% of what we see in preseason games doesn't matter, except to the guys in the game and some, not even all, of the fans of the teams playing. But that does leave 15% open and at least a little bit important. Now, I think what we saw from two rookie quarterbacks in particular last night should matter. Mitchell Trubisky, the second overall pick in the draft by the Bears, went into their game against Denver and completed 10 straight passes, finished 18 for 25 and a touchdown. He looked the part after Mike Glennon struggled. Head coach John Fox says he's not changing the quarterback depth chart after one game, and no, that's a great call, but he might after one of the next three. Then there's the Browns. Deshaun Kaiser hit 11 of his 18 passes for close to 200 yards. A couple of big plays in that mix, too, as he's battling Brock Osweiler and Cody Kessler in Cleveland. Both Browns and Bears brass have the same dilemma. It makes sense to go ahead and anoint the rookie the starter, but how do you sit veterans that you're paying way too much money to? It's just one game. We'll all chill now. In 60 seconds, poor Dookies.
AutoZone presents Keeping Cool. When the AC's on the fritz, your commute becomes a hot mess. Luckily, AutoZone carries AC Pro refrigerant that helps restore cold air in only 10 minutes. And right now, save $15 by mail-in rebate when you buy 20 ounces of AC Pro refrigerant with hose and gauge. So visit your local AutoZone. With over 5,000 locations, the right supplies and good advice are just around the corner. Let's get you what you need. See store for restrictions and details.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Guys, get to JCPenney and save big on select items throughout the store. Find great brands like Levi's 502 regular fit jeans for $39.99. Or get 25% off select styles of Nike tees, shorts, shoes, and backpacks. Also, check out our great selection of men's big and tall sizes. And download the JCPenney app for even more savings. Hurry, sale ends Saturday. That's getting your pennies worth. JCPenney. See store at jcp.com for details. Season refers to 8/9 to 8/12.
One of the cool things college basketball teams get to do on occasion is travel the world, go on international trips that build teamwork and camaraderie, like Alabama's touring Canada, Auburn's in Italy, things like that. Duke had plans to go to the Dominican Republic and play a couple of games there, until Coach K revealed yesterday that he was going to have knee replacement surgery. So the trip is off. But why? If there's one program that should not cancel for this, it's Duke. Only Grayson Allen returns with much experience. They are again riding heavily with true freshmen that need the minutes and time together. And Jeff Capel can coach him. The Duke assistant's been a head coach before, and he took the reins for 7 regular season games in January when Coach K needed back work done. Calling off this trip doesn't make much sense. With the ESPN Radio Sports Beat,
you're listening to WSJK ESPN 93.5 Tuscola, Champaign-Urbana, your home for the St. Louis Cardinals.
Hello, I'm Austin Berkland with the 530 Sports Center update presented by State Farm agent Sean Kaywood. At State Farm and Home and Auto work as a team, you score time and money. Call State Farm agent John Kaywood at 217-367-1105 today. Hey, we get to start with some actual football in the Bears' first preseason game when they took on the Denver Broncos. We start with the quarterbacks. Mike Glennon started the game and was 2 for 8 with a pick 6. Now for the real story. Rookie Mitchell Trubisky was 18 for 25 with 166 yards and a touchdown. 2016 first-round pick Leonard Floyd got a sack on Northwestern alum Trevor Siemian. Bears fell, though, 24-17. There was a flurry of movement in the NFL off the field today. First was Adam Schefter reported that former Buckeye and current Dallas Cowboy running back Ezekiel Elliott will be suspended 6 games for violating the domestic abuse policy. He is expected to appeal. The Bills traded wide receiver Sammy Watkins, and the most important trade was the Eagles traded Jordan Matthews and a third-round pick to the Bills for defensive back Ronald Darby. To the diamond, the Cardinals swept the Royals 8-6 last night. Another grand slam was hit, and it was by Dexter Fowler. The Birds of the Bat are now a single game behind the Chicago Cubs in the NL Central. The Cards have a weekend series against the Braves tonight. It's Fultonwitz versus Wainwright at 7:15 on 93.5 ESPN-CU. The Cubs continue their West Coast swing against the Diamondbacks. It's Lackey versus Taijuan Walker. Game time is 8:40 on US 105.9. And the White Sox youth spring is starting to bubble up as they swept the Astros to begin a strong performance by Carlos Rodon and a walk-off by top prospect Yoan Moncada. Ronaldo Lopez will have his big league debut tonight when the slumping Royals come to town. And that, my friends, is the Sports Center Update.
All right, it is the Tay Tay and J Show. Lon Tay, Jeremy Warner, Mike Carpenter. We are live at Game Day Spirit. It's their brand new building, brand new location, 1602 South Neal on the corner of Neal and Kirby. They're having a big blowout this weekend, and joining us now is Corey Schumard. And Corey, tell me why this is going to be such a big weekend for you guys here at Game Day Spirit. The place looks great.
I appreciate that. And first of all, thanks for all three of you guys for coming out. I didn't hear until this afternoon again that this was the last time the three of you are gathering together. Yeah. So appreciate you letting us be a part of that day.
Well, we appreciate what you guys have done for us. Believe me.
Well, what an exciting weekend for us. I mean, we're, to move to this corner. You and I were talking off the air about just the sea of humanity that's out here on an everyday basis anyway, but magnetize that by 1,000 during a football weekend.
Absolutely.
And just the sheer pedestrian traffic you add to that, I'm not sure there's a better corner to be if you're not on campus.
Yeah, the official fan store of the Fighting Illini, of course, Game Day Spirit. What kind of new gear do you got?
It's every day something new rolls in this time of year. So if Carp wants to go get his jacket on, he's sporting something brand new.
I love it
today. But it's Nike. It's we talked about Under Armour a little bit earlier. It's Columbia Sportswear, all the major brands that you're aware of. That new Illinois product is rolling in every day right now. So it's a fun month. Here in a couple of weeks, students are back, and we're excited about. It's like Christmas every day.
Mm-hmm.
When boxes roll in from the warehouse and we open them up, it's like unwrapping a Christmas gift, seeing what's new.
Well, Corey, what do you have this weekend? Grand opening this weekend. I know you got deals throughout the weekend.
Yeah, I appreciate that. And you guys have been doing a great job promoting that for us. So we've got a lot of items on sale throughout the store if you want to stop by. But we're excited about just the free stuff we're able to give away, golf bags and jackets and an Illini experience where we're going to basically take care of all your needs going to a football game this weekend. So, there's some specific deals, socks, Under Armour with local high schools that we're excited about.
We were talking with Lon. Socks is like 10-year-old. Like when we were at Christmas, we got socks and we
hated it.
Whatever. His kid's like asking for socks. Like what's the big deal?
You're talking about an item that sells year round. It's no longer a seasonal piece.
No.
Okay, and just when you think that, do we really need that many? Mm-hmm. I mean, you look at your sales and your sales back it up. Yeah. We need sales year round.
Absolutely.
With our socks, and we've got a phenomenal 2 or 3 main lines that we're excited about.
Are T-shirts still the big, or pullovers? What leads the crew? What's the best seller?
T-shirts are still our bread and butter.
Yeah.
Okay, especially what we're able to produce in-house, able to offer those at a special price. But, we're a Nike school.
Mm-hmm.
So we love that new Nike item that comes in that Coach Lovie Smith was just wearing this past weekend on the sideline.
Exactly.
People love to come in and dress like those coaches, so we love offering that stuff too.
Well, I don't know whose idea it was for the T-shirts that you made for the Jeremy Warner Show and Tay and Carp Show, but we appreciate you doing it. Those are that means a lot. That was very nice of you guys to do.
Those turned out so much better than I expected. But shout out to we've got a tremendous graphics and promotion staff.
That's awesome.
Behind the scenes that I know I and my staff, we could not do what we do without them.
Yes.
Couldn't have any success with our stores. So I'm glad you guys like those.
Oh, awesome.
It sounds like you guys are going to have to trade off who's wearing what on what particular day.
We can't wear our own. That was the decision we made. That might look a little egotistical.
I don't think I can wear my face on a shirt.
No.
I don't think
I agree
can
with you.
do that.
I could probably get away with a Tay Carp. I'm not sure.
Take it home to your wife.
Yeah,
she'll
wear it. Put it on the baby. That'll look cute.
Corey Schumar, thank you so much, buddy. Congratulations on the grand opening. Again, 1602 South Neal, right here on the corner of Neal and Kirby, across from McDonald's. Everybody knows where this corner is. It's been here forever. They've been dropped off to go to basketball and football games. I know I did when I was younger. So congratulations. Good luck here at the new location.
Appreciate that. Thanks again for coming out, being on site. And again, congratulations to you guys. I know there's a little bit of evolution going on.
Sure.
With your roles at the station. We're excited about still being a part of your show and obviously the Tay and Carp Show. So
that's
thanks,
awesome.
guys.
Thank you very much, Corey. That's very nice. A B-Mint grad. Corey Schumard. I love it. All right.
We have a special segment coming up here. It is the final Friday 5 at 5 showdown.
This is crazy. It's crazy, isn't it?
Carp, what are our topics?
Oh, man, the last topics of the final 5 at 5 include interns.
Okay.
Advertisements.
Okay.
Interviews. Worst story. And best moment.
Oh, you're going to break us down that last one, aren't you?
I don't think there'll be a dry eye in the greater Champaign-Urbana area.
The final 5 at 5 on the Tay and J Show is next. It is the Tay and J Show.
Guidance, trust, protection, service. It's the mantra of GTPS Insurance. When you work with GTPS, you'll never have to call an 800 number in a different state. You deal with people who live and work in our community and know it's important to your business. GTPS is your local source for business insurance, property, general liability, workers' compensation, and group health insurance, and they'll work with you to formulate the best package for the needs of you and your business. Contact a GTPS insurance agent today at 359-9000 or visit online at gtpsinsurance.com.
Hail to the orange. Hail to the blue with Game Day Spirit Fan Store. Game Day is the exclusive retailer of this year's Hail to the Orange t-shirt. Don't miss out on getting yours. Find the exclusive Hail to the Orange t-shirt at any of the Game Day Spirit locations or order online at GameDaySpirit.com. Youth, adult, and extended sizes available in the BOGO section at Game Day Spirit. Located at 519 East Green Street in Campustown and now open at their new location at 1602 South Neal Street in Champaign. Game Day Spirit. Go Illini!
Okay, U of I Meat Sales Room theme song, take one. The Meat Boat. Soon we'll be grilling another steak. I'm pretty sure that's already been done before. Take two. I'll eat meat with you. I'll eat burgers and brats. And again, already been done before. Take three. Meat, 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 meat. Meat, 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 meat. The U of I Meat Sales Room on Maryland and Urbana. They may not have clever theme songs, but they do have the best meat in town.
Flooring Surfaces Factory Outlet is the premier source for discount flooring in Central Illinois. Dozens of Mill Direct carpet rolls are in stock now. You can take home a new carpet today or use our professional installation service and we'll measure for free. And check out the Deal Zone, where porcelain tile is just 49 cents. Hardwood, laminate carpet, or vinyl, you'll find great discounts at Flooring Surfaces Factory Outlet, 1703 North Dunlap in Savoy.
Flooring Surfaces, the world at your feet.
Summer is here and there's no better way to swing into the season than at Willow Pond Golf Course, the most improved golf course in Central Illinois. Golf for $30 Monday through Friday with a cart, $20 after 3 p.m. Golf Saturday and Sunday with a cart for just $35 and $25 after 3 p.m. on Saturday and Sunday. Seniors golf Monday through Friday with a cart for just $20. Not a golfer? The 19th Hole Bar and Grill serves up great food and drink specials, live video gaming, and the full swing golf simulator. Call and schedule a tee time today at 893-9000 or willowpondgolf.com.
You already know Houlihan's Restaurant and Bar at the iHotel is a great restaurant, but don't forget about the bar. Fantastic drink specials and mouth-watering menu items from snacks to full meals. A nice selection of draft, craft, and domestic beers, and just about any cocktail you can imagine. Watch a game with multiple flat screens on all sides of the bar, or grab some tables and make it a party. Drink specials daily, plus Houlihan's is now serving a delicious hot breakfast 7 days a week. Houlihan's at the iHotel. Check them out at the corner of 1st Street and St. Mary's Road, just south of the State Farm Center.
First Financial Bank invites you to a free Community Shred Day on Saturday, August 12th at our Philo Road Banking Center in Urbana. Bring up to 5 boxes or bags of papers you no longer need, old tax returns, bank statements, pay stubs, or any documents that contain personal information, and we'll shred them on the spot, completely and confidentially. We'll also be collecting worn-out American flags for respectful disposal by the VFW. That's Saturday, August 12th from 9 to 11 a.m. at First Financial Bank, 2510 South Philo Road in Urbana. Member FDIC.
You're listening to WSJK ESPN 93.5 Tuscola, Champaign, Urbana, your home for the St. Louis Cardinals.
It's Friday, gotta get down on Friday. Everybody's looking forward to the weekend. Friday, getting down on Friday. Everybody's looking forward to the weekend. Partying.
Oh no! It is the final 5 at 5 ever for the Tay and J Show, but we're going to have fun with this, right? We're going to have fun with this. Mike Carpenter, the esteemed commissioner, ranking right below David Stern on the list, but above Gary Bettman.
Above Roger Goodell? I mean, he makes a lot of money for the league.
He does.
But,
Well, he made $1 the 1 year, right?
That's true.
But go ahead, my friend. Final 5 and 5.
Throughout the years, we've been fortunate to have tons of talented interns come through the Tay and J Show. And if we could name them all, we would. I thought it would honestly be tough, though, to think of the 100 or so who have sat in that call screen studio.
Goodness.
Some, however, make an indelible impression and leave some very distinct memories. What is your favorite moment involving a Tay and J intern?
Okay, I have a 1A, and then I'm going to give you my number 1, okay? We did, what was the little craze that went on that we actually taped where you and I were sitting there acting like
Harlem Shake.
Harlem Shake.
Oh, man.
And
it's still on YouTube.
Yes.
Muhammad
Danielle.
Danielle.
Put on a green Masters jacket
and a box on his head.
And a box on his head. So
Golf club.
that is probably, honestly, maybe one of my favorite moments of an intern, because that will live on in my life forever, just remembering that. But this is easy for me. It was my riff with Dan Whelan, a.k.a. Wheels, as he was called.
Yep.
The storm blew up on this thing when I realized how quiet he was, and I'm the complete opposite, and I would try to talk to Wheels, and I would get 3 sentences out of him, or 3 words out of him, and finally I decided, you know what, I don't like you. So he and I now, still to this day, hate each other. So without a doubt, my best moment for internships is one I hated. Dan Wheels Whelan.
Frickin' Wheels.
Wheels.
Yeah.
I hope that guy never comes around.
Now fighting crime on the south side of Chicago. No, we've had so many great interns come through here and gone on to do some really good things already.
No doubt.
I remember we had this kid on. We rarely got interns on the air. Like Carp was one of the rare ones that we actually got on the air. But one day we turned the mic on in that room and we had this kid come on. And I go, whoa.
Yeah.
He's going to be special. And sadly, we didn't get to see him do that.
Right.
And Brett Lerner passed away a couple years ago in a car crash. It was, 2 weeks after he co-hosted you, Carp,
exactly.
on College Game Day Live. But that kid had a spark and just such a talent.
He did.
When it came to broadcasting that I'll remember him forever, not just because he died and passed away early, but he was just such a talent, and he died working hard.
Yes.
He just had a special quality about him that I go, that kid's going to do something.
He was going to be a
and
star.
sadly, we didn't get to see it, but I just remember being blown away by 19-year-old Brett Lerner when he came on the air with us, and I was like, that kid's going to be really good.
Without a doubt.
A lot of talent that's come through, and Brett certainly sticks out. I'll give the point to Jeremy.
Yes.
Because I don't hate Wheels.
Oh, come on.
I mean,
actually, I don't hate Wheels either. I hope people realize I like old Dan.
No, we love Wheels.
Yes, we do.
Question number 2, early lead for Jeremy. This kind of show is impossible without the support of advertisers like Game Day Spirit,
Amen,
who have been with us basically the entire show's history. Every now and then, an ad is played which really sticks in our mind.
Yep.
Think back through the history of the show and the thousands of 30-second ads we've played during breaks. Funny ads, weird ads, dramatic ads. Which one sticks out the most?
Okay.
There's a lot of good ones.
Yes.
Got a hobby. we all had to voice commercials.
How do you know?
Yeah. And we all have ones like Ken Cunningham and Fresh Baked Bread. But there's so many that we just think are terrible.
Yes.
And we all do some terrible things with these commercials. Well, one day Diane Ducey came in and goes, Jeremy, can you do a Chicago Ditka accent?
I love it.
And I go, yes, I can.
Yes.
And then we did Da Sausages.
Which is still on the air.
Which is still on the air.
Still on.
And I think we did it so well. It's you, me, Carp.
Yep.
In unison.
And is there somebody
No,
else
it's
in
just
there?
the
Is this
three of
us
us.
three?
You're the narrator, but the
Yeah.
da sausages
Da
refrain
sausages.
is all 3 of us.
Yeah, it was all 3 of us, kind of like a band
Oh,
when
it
they
was
do
awesome.
the chorus where everyone's singing at the same time.
I think we should do it again. 1, 2, 3.
Da
sausages. That's awesome.
Yeah, we really accentuate the consonants and sausages.
Okay, I have to admit, I had the same exact answer. Jeremy and I had the same exact answer on 2 of these.
No, is it going to be a tie?
No,
That's fine.
No. I went with a different one because I thought, all right, because that was kind of your commercial. Mine is actually one you just said. So in this profession, when I started doing this, the one thing I was always, I guess if you'd say blessed with, was a decent voice, right? So it was easy for me to say, all right, Lon, we need you to voice this. We need you to voice this. We need you to voice this.
Sure.
And it got to a point where I'm like, all right.
You're on every commercial.
And I'm like, that's enough.
Yeah.
And then one day I heard it. Got a hobby? And it was Jeremy Warner's first foray, really, into the commercial business. And then, of course, he's done a lot since with the sausages and all of that.
Sure.
But that got a hobby one is one that I'll always remember those 3 words, and I'll remember him saying it exactly like that the rest of my life.
What was the advertiser again?
It was for
the hobby store over in Urbana.
Got a hobby?
Slot Wing and Hobby?
Yes.
Oh, so this is way back in the day.
And that's how it started was, got a hobby?
You know, Jen Drake had that.
That's right. I'll get the point to line just so we keep this thing going even here.
The sausage is the best one. I mean, come on, you can't beat that.
Honorable mention to Appleby Painting.
Oh my God!
Can I paint your cabinet?
Those were phenomenal.
Oh, they were so good.
We have to get this. There are some great jingles.
Yes, there are.
I mean, Tapman's Towing has we talk about Effie Moran all the time.
Yep.
There are some phenomenal jingle writers in this town.
Effie Moran, that thing's going to live on forever now. We're going to be on their national commercial soon, I think.
Question number 3 tied up 1-1. What do you know? We all know that the McCaskey interview. Which McCaskey was it?
George.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't George.
No. It's like his brother.
Oldest one.
Yeah, here we have this guy from the Bears on the board of the Bears. We're like, man, this could be a great interview. We'll ask him all these questions about the Bears. We asked two questions, and I laughed throughout the second one. The only time on the Tay and J Show that I was unprofessional.
Thanks, whatever your name is, McCaskey. Good luck.
Well,
he had some event in town.
He did. It was some play.
It was at the Virginia Theater.
That's
like
right.
he didn't know he was doing a radio interview.
Yeah, it was weird.
You have to talk during
it. It was exhausting and weird, and it was
and
the strangest 5 minutes of my life.
He knew nothing about the Chicago Bears. And I go, this explains a lot.
Yeah. There you go.
Right, that kind of did it.
So we all know that stands alone as the single worst interview in the Tay and J Show history. I could ask each of you what the second worst interview is, but that would be me.
On a bus.
Okay.
Gillette Law. Look at this guy. Right in the middle of our 5 and 5. What's up, Josh? Josh Whitman, how are you, buddy? Good to see you.
Just driving by.
Yeah, top on.
Can we do this next week? Can you come in studio with us in our last week?
Awesome.
Okay, so when do you guys finish?
Next week is our final
week.
So next Friday will be the final show.
Because you offered to come on.
I did offer,
Josh.
and I meant it.
And I want more than just this 2 minutes.
No, that's fair.
He slept on it, and the next day was like, did I really
were just going out to dinner, and I had you guys on the radio, and we were driving by, and I thought we'd just pop in. So
I appreciate it, buddy.
You guys look good out here in the corner.
Yeah. Well, I don't know about that, but check out our new shirt.
Now, Josh, I can't wear this because it has my name on it. It's a medium. Could it fit you?
I don't think a medium will fit.
Okay.
Muscles popping out. I love it.
Can I comment about the catch you made the other night?
Did he catch one?
I think Jeff George overthrew a receiver, and there's Josh in the corner of the end zone, all hands.
Boom.
It was all hands.
It would have been pretty embarrassing if it struck me right in the nose.
Looking like that catch against Ohio State in the end zone. Kurt Kittner finds him off play action.
Better to be lucky than good, right?
I love it.
The right place at the right time.
I love it. Well, thanks for stopping by, man.
Absolutely. You guys
gearing up for a big sports calendar coming up here.
We are. Yeah, we got a lot coming up. It's hard to believe the summer's over, but excited about it. Soccer's got their first match next week. I just made some arrangements today. I'm going to go out with our volleyball team to Bozeman, Montana in 2 weeks to watch them play their first 3 matches. And so we got a lot going on, a lot to look forward to. And also excited about the new location here. I've not been in, so my wife and daughter just popped in. And
they're spending money left and right.
I'm feeling Tate's going to be in a new outfit before we leave.
How many states has Tate already checked off her list?
She's been a lot. More than most 10-month-olds.
Isn't that cool?
It's safe to say, including Switzerland. So
very cool.
It's been a lot of fun.
Well, I hope you had a good summer. You were able to relax a little.
It was. Yeah, it was really good. Great opportunity to get away a little bit and. But ready to go. And I think it served the function that you want the summer to serve.
Yep,
it was,
exactly.
You got a chance to recharge a bit, and now we're all anxious and ready to get rolling again. So it should be fun.
All right, buddy.
Well, Josh, we'll have Kent Brown bother you next week to see
what
time we can get you.
Thank you, buddy. Good to see you. Josh Whitman.
Thanks for saying it.
Illinois Athletic Director or Director of Athletics. Yeah, as he steals our Tay and Carp show. That might not fit his daughter. That thing is not very. This medium would not fit. All right, so where were we?
Oh well, basically, what's your favorite interview?
My favorite interview. Lou Henson was the second favorite, and I'll tell you why.
He popped in late.
He popped in late, and the doors were locked.
Yes.
And the next thing we know, we're standing in our studio. It's dark outside, and there's a face in the window looking in.
A familiar face.
And it's Lou Henson.
No,
and,
it was
Mary.
It was
Yeah.
Mary, that's right. So we're like, and I literally on the air, I'm like, wait, Mary Henson's standing outside. We got to go let her in. So Mary and Lou came in. But my favorite ever was when we were doing our spring training down in Florida at Jupiter, and Lou Brock came and joined us for an entire hour.
This is our first. What? This is our 4th month on the air?
2011, right.
4th
Jody
month on the air.
Eversole set that up.
We have an hour-long interview with Lou Brock and his wife.
And they wanted to stay. Like, we didn't know if we wanted to have them on all hour. Well, we wanted to, but we didn't know if they'd want to. And Lou was like, we want to stay. We want to keep going. So,
awesome.
And the KMOX booth, which was next door, after we got done, which is when we met Kevin Wheeler, and those guys looked at us and they're like, how'd you get Lou Brock? We're like, listen, we're big.
We know people.
Tay and J Show is big.
Mine's more serious, but I was really proud of it.
Yes.
It was really interesting. I think it was must-listen radio. It was Simon Sianovich.
Mm-hmm.
When Simon came on our air, he was the first one that we talked to, and we had him on our air. He actually cursed a few times.
Yes, he
did. We kind of tell him, hey, Simon, no, this isn't it. But he got to tell his side of the story, which I thought was important at that time. And I think, asked him some tough questions during that time.
No doubt.
But I thought I was really proud of our show in that moment, because the thing people were talking about, we got a side of it that no one else had.
I agree.
And I thought we conducted the interview really well.
I was in the call screen studio with Austin when that was going on, and you could feel the tension over the air. You could just sense his frustration with that. I will give the point to Jeremy on this. A 2-1 lead for Jeremy. Not that it really matters.
We're going to have
these
to
go.
cheat number 4 because we had the same answer, and I can't come up with one.
Oh, okay.
Well, you go for it.
Well, number 4, here's the question. So the Tay and J Show hex may be a real thing, because after all, Illinois sports have endured the worst 7-year stretch in its history, coinciding with this show. But sometimes bad sports stories make for great radio fodder. Other times it's just exhausting. What was the worst story you covered in Tay and J Show history?
There's a couple. I hated talking about steroids, and anybody could say that. I hated talking about that, but that didn't really have a personal connection. The thing that stood out to me was the Penn State deal. That was very awkward to talk about. It was hard to talk about. It's matters that you don't really nobody's comfortable talking about that. And I know that we both have this answer, so we'll just say that I won.
Yeah.
But I want your take on it too.
Mine was the Penn State scandal too, even though we did have the Tim Beckman and Tim Banks and all those guys go into Penn State and recruiting those players on campus.
That's right.
So we had that aspect of it. The whole Tim Beckman era was really tough to cover. But the Penn State scandal was number 1 because the things that are involved are bigger than sports.
Yes.
They make your stomach turn reading that whole report. I felt like I needed to talk about it on air. But my whole takeaway during that whole thing was I don't think the NCAA should get involved. This is bigger than the NCAA. This is a criminal matter, and I thought the NCAA misstepped by doing that. I know a lot of people wanted Penn State to get the death penalty, but I thought it was bigger than football.
I agree.
And I still believe that to this day.
Totally. It was just very awkward to talk about, and it was something we knew we had to talk about.
Yep.
And it was tough.
And a legacy ruined for Joe Paterno.
No doubt.
Question number 5.
Somehow we're tied going into 5.
Somehow, yet again. I didn't even award you the point, but we all assume.
Yeah.
This is a loaded question for a show which has had so many moments throughout the years. So for something like this, it may be just pick a random moment that pops into your head. What is one moment during the Tay and J Show which, in retrospect, sort of sums up everything that made this radio show unique?
Austin, if we go long, we go long, by the way.
Yeah.
Right. First of all, Carp, this question's impossible.
This was the hardest question we've ever answered on the 5.
It's impossible. So I'm going to go with 2 things that you guys will remember fondly, and then I'm going to go with one of the simplest things that kind of explains our show.
All right.
Macho Man, Randy Savage, passed away.
We're laughing.
That in itself is not funny.
That's a great answer.
But that day, I think I was at a golf tournament for Lucas, and I got into the studio, and you guys were like, did you hear about
This is
Macho
the old
Man?
studio.
That's right.
Yeah.
No. We were over here. We were at Windsor.
No, this is the old studio.
No, it was.
We talked sports for an hour.
That's right.
And then we just brought up that Macho Man Savage had died, and we just took people's favorite. We talked about Macho Man and asked people their favorite wrestler
for the next 2 hours.
And it was spur of the moment.
Yeah.
It was fun. It was different.
It was something that I know people around here like wrestling. I had no idea to the level that people around here. So we just took all these calls. Another one, though, that's not mine. The other one was one day when Jeremy's doing the Warner Wrap, and he mentioned Wade Davis, the pitcher. Was that his name?
Doug Davis.
Doug Davis, not Wade Davis. Doug Davis, who's a left-handed pitcher, and I just interrupted him like I have done 7 billion times, and I said, Jeremy, if I could hit off one major league pitcher, it would be Doug Davis. He'd be the guy that I'd want to face.
Yeah.
And for the next 2 or 3 hours, we just asked people, who would you rather hit off? And just hundreds of calls. One guy said Nolan Ryan. We're like, why would you want to hit that guy? He goes, well, because he's 68 now. One of those. All right, but the moment that kind of did it for me was the day that Jeremy and I are just doing the show at the new place, and we always would bring fruit in. And one day I didn't have fruit, and he did. He had an apple. And I said, what would be great is if somebody would just bring me an apple. I'm like, if somebody's out there, if you just bring me an apple, and the next thing I know, Jeremy's talking, and I'm looking at Jeremy, and a guy's walking up to the window, which at first can be a little creepy.
Yeah, sure.
And all of a sudden, he holds this apple up, and he puts it on the ledge outside, and he just kind of gives me a thumbs up like, there's your apple. Now,
I like them apples.
Right. And that, to me, described, I think, of what the kind of show that Jeremy and I tried to put out there with regards to we tried to be friends with Central Illinois and all of our listeners, and we wanted people to feel comfortable and to know that they could come and have fun with us and do stuff like that. I know that's a dumb little story, but to me that described our show, that we were approachable and we were fun, and a guy would take time out of his day to bring me an apple at the Tay and J Show. I thought that was just awesome.
I have a couple random things, like name that San Diego Padre.
Oh, yeah.
Our lists are fun.
Oh, they're the best.
But my favorite thing about our show is when we have guests on, and they're starting to do this on the air because they know it's over, but I get texts all the time saying, hey, I love coming on your show. I enjoy coming on your show because you guys are fun, you're normal, you're informed, all of those things. So it's not really a moment. It's just when guys like Joe Henderson or Kevin Fishbane or even a guy like Josh Whitman actually enjoy coming on, listening to us, and it just makes people's days better.
Right.
And some of the stories we've gotten from listeners,
no doubt,
that's what matters to me, is that you enjoy our show, we can inform you, but most of all, we're making your day a little better.
Yes.
If that's what we're doing, that's what we've wanted to accomplish. We want to talk Illinois, we want to be informed, but we also want to just make your days a little bit better, and hopefully we have
without a doubt
for the last 7 years.
I was thinking about how to end the 5 at 5. Who do you give the final 5 at 5 point to? In this age of participation trophies, for this 5 at 5, everybody's the winner. But I think maybe, Lon, what's your hotkey?
I don't know. Harry turned it, or he switched it, right?
Oh, no. Well, my thought was we give it to Lon so he only ends up losing by 25.
Exactly.
5
instead of 26.
Plus, who doesn't want to hear Mr. Phone?
Austin Berkland. I appreciate that, Carl.
Well, hey.
I'm still going to consider this a tie.
You had a lot.
Is that fair?
No, Lon won. Lon won. Because he's staying in this time slot. You win.
Exactly. Yeah, Jeremy got booted out of that. All right, Austin, hit 31, my friend. 03131. Get out of here, should we? We'll welcome our guests. Mike Carpenter, thanks for the 5 at 5. Final one, thanks for all the time that you spent doing the 5 at 5, all the questions.
Always fun. Never a dull moment.
Enjoy your vacation, Carp, and then when you come back, it'll be the Tay and Carp Show.
Isn't that crazy?
4 to 6.
What the hell? I might wear this t-shirt.
Yeah.
You'll see it on YouTube.
People will be like, what's that?
You got another week of Lon and I. We'll be back.
And we're both going to be gone a couple of days. Probably. With football and golf.
This is why we did what we did.
And all this stuff. Hey, we are happy to be, though, live at Game Day Spirit. Come out and see them all weekend. They are here at their new location, and that is 1602 South Neal on the corner of Neal and Kirby. They're giving away a free promotional T-shirt with any purchase, limited quantities on that, of course, and a lot of specials. Come see them. For Jeremy Warner, for Mike Carpenter, I'm Lon Tay. It is the Tay and J Show.